high above Colorado Boulevard in Denver, Colorado. Denver Sports Talk, starting at 6 a.m., continues now. This is Moser, Lombardi, and Kane on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5. Here's Vic Lombardi and Mark Moser with Brett Kane.
Nuggets and Avs back at it tonight. The Avs with one more game before the All-Star break at home against the worst team in the Western Conference. The Nuggets have Minnesota before taking on Utah in the second leg of a back-to-back tomorrow, which makes the third out of four meetings with Utah, in which it's the second day of a back-to-back. But if you guys haven't been paying attention as of late, Utah is struggling, as I think they've lost 13 of their last 17, and guess what? In the Western Conference right now, the Nuggets are a game back of Utah with that game against them tomorrow. Pretty wild. Hi, Victor. How are you?
You know what's wild? For the third time this season, the Denver Nuggets will play the Utah Jazz with the Nuggets on the second game of a back-to-back and the Utah Jazz having rested at least 2 days.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You got to tell the NBA to get bent. There are other words for this type of situation, Brett. But as we know, at 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning, this is a family program. We welcome in all family members. Moms, dads, kids, little kids, old grandmas. You know, you could have your 82-year-old granny listening in, and she will be fine. There is no... there's nothing going to push the envelope here. You just say I had sex? Okay, besides that one moment that Vic went over the top.
Just that one.
Now, this is a bunch of bunk. This is not a scheduling anomaly. This is somebody. You have to work hard. You have to work hard, and you have to really plan it to stick it to the Nuggets like this.
Moj, I'll take it a step further. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the Jazz and the Nuggets have resulted, 4 out of the last 5, in the Nuggets playing the second game of a back-to-back and the Jazz having 2, if not 3 days rest.
Brett, explain that to me.
I thought it was kind of bull, but I expected it.
I think Fangio did a good job. That's my
Vic
thoughts.
Fangio just did a great job.
I need somebody to give me a why on that. I wish I had a schedule maker where I can ask continuous whys.
If nothing else,
got to get through the T-Pups first. Got to get through the T-Pups tonight first, and then after that, we'll worry about it.
That's the thing. At a minimum, could you not just at least flip the games to where the Nuggets play the Jazz tonight and Minnesota tomorrow? Like, you couldn't do that just once? But anyway, you're right. Minnesota is tonight in the Avs have Arizona. But can I start, please, with Nathaniel Hackett? And we continue to see more and more of Nathaniel Hackett. And look, my initial reaction to him can't be anything football because I don't know anything football about Nathaniel Hackett. All I know is Nathaniel Hackett, the dude. And I like this guy a lot. He's weird. I like weird people.
Did you guys run that 3-minute thing I did with him yesterday where I asked him weird questions?
We ran it.
Yeah, when you asked him, are you a collector of
multiple
collectibles?
times. Yeah.
We
collector of collectibles.
Do you collect collectibles?
If you guys missed it, they do this. And I love how teams do this now. Everybody's got like their own little hard knocks, right? Now it's a mini little bite-sized version of it, but the Broncos do it. I think it's called Broncos Behind the Scenes. And they put some cameras in Green Bay as he's packing up his stuff and moving out. He's in his garage. It's about a minute. He's packing his stuff up, and Vic, you'll love this. He's got costumes that he wants to talk about that he's bringing with him to Denver. He's got these records of every single type of music you can think of. Just listen to this minute of Nathaniel Hackett.
We've got unicorn outfits. We've got gold suits. We've got all kinds of stuff. So I think I need to make this a priority to get on the plane. No, I'm just around. There's nothing like going Elton John to Dr. Dre, Chronic, which was one of the best, to Beach Boys. Let's go with some Beastie Boys. We go with all the boys. Beatles. I mean, you gotta have all your essentials. My personal favorite, Justin Timberlake. He's the greatest. Oh, look at that. He's so great. Justin Timberlake again. Back to the Future, great soundtrack. Gotta love it. Ed Sheeran. I mean, but the man, the myth, the legend. You gotta go with Purple Rain too. Oh, so good. Universal languages of the world. So important. Music, mathematics, analytics.
Analytics? He's a math guy?
Well, I think he put music in the same realm. Music and mathematics. Analytics is just a piece of mathematics, but it's all the same language, and that is a universal language.
When he said he had to bring his unicorn outfit, were you just like, see, this guy, he gets it. This guy
I was so
understands
jealous.
me. Yeah.
I mean, as a man who carries several wigs in the trunk of his car, a man that can carry a unicorn outfit with him as part of his arsenal as the new Broncos head coach tells you all you need to know.
Well, he
He's
said
going to
there's
be
also a
successful.
Gold suit. There's also a gold suit in there.
Yes.
Gold suit.
You know what I really want? The next time, like if you get another one-on-one with him, Vic, can you just make a request on my behalf? Can he make me a Spotify playlist, please, of just like 20 songs that he thinks is a good rotation to have for like a house party?
Spotify. I'm sure those were CDs that he was going through,
No,
right?
they're records. Like
They
actual
were actual
records.
records.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm saying, though. He's got a good little he's got a good mix there. He went Elton John
Guys.
to Dr. Dre. Come on.
The bitter truth is this, and this is every time somebody asks me, what do you think about the new coach? What do you think about the new coach? My answer is always going to be the same. I like him, but we always like the new coach. I have no idea if he can coach, and we'll find out soon enough. None of that matters. That's all cute. All the words, all the videos are cute. They're great. We all love it. We all giggle. We're all having a good time. It's fun now. It's the honeymoon. We have no idea. And anybody who thinks they know, you're lying to yourself. I love people who like to predict this stuff now and speculate. Well, because of this, he's going to be a great coach. Well, because of that right there, that makes him a great coach. We have no idea. You know what will make him a great coach? Bring Aaron Rodgers.
See, and it's interesting that you bring that up because there's a couple of different things that I think we can guess about what's going to happen here. Because the Broncos are at a little bit of a crossroads. Despite having a new head coach, they are at one. And here's what it is. I don't think they're getting Rodgers or Wilson. I don't think any of you guys do. It's a very, very, very outside shot of that happening. If it does, then everything changes. But let's operate under the assumption that that's not going to be the case. Here's your crossroads. You can take one of two streets. One of them is head coach in year one. We literally don't know who the quarterback is. This could be year one football coach in a new system, which is typically you lose, right? You kind of lose that first year. You build the culture or whatever you want to call it, and it's just kind of a waste year. Or the second option is, even though he's in year one, well, George Payton isn't. Is he going to try and actually compete this year and not have a 6-11, 7-10 type of season and not use first-year head coach as an excuse? Because people will point to, well, Matt LaFleur won. Well, Matt LaFleur had Aaron Rodgers. A little bit different story. Like, look at Zach Taylor right now. He's in year 3, right, as Cincinnati's head coach. It took, at minimum, 2 years for them to figure out, okay, Burrow's good enough now.
They won 2 games. They won 2 games his first year then.
Right.
And 4 games in his second year, and that's with Burrow getting hurt. And now they're going to the Super Bowl. It's a pretty big leap. But a lot of it has to do with that guy, that quarterback guy. And if you don't got that guy, you're looking for that guy. Although, also, Kane, I thought about this. I want to congratulate you.
Me?
You are, because you are now entrenched in the Denver media. And you know what? You know how I know that? Because you have been hired and you still exist in a full Denver Broncos coach cycle. You were hired before Vic Fangio. You saw the Fangio hiring, right?
Well, it was like 2 days after he got hired, but pretty close.
Okay. And then you've gone through the whole Vic Fangio cycle.
Uh-huh.
And now you're on your second dude.
You know what? Congratulations to me. You're right.
This is how it goes, Kaner. This is your anniversary, so to speak. This is your, hey, I'm on my second Broncos coach. And it wasn't like a McDaniel situation where you got blown out, quickly, or Studesville for just, interim basis. You got a full almost tenure of a dude. Now you're on your second dude.
You know what? I think my first day was somewhere around mid-January. I outlasted Vic Fangio. How's that?
Boom. Who'd have thunk?
Who'd have thunk
me.
that?
I lost that bet.
Not me.
The last time Brett moved to different states to take a job, I lasted 6 months. I was more on the Urban Meyer sort of feel.
Copy,
But I've
yeah.
outlasted Vic Fangio and a brand new head coach. So congrats to me.
We
You're
should have
right.
had that. We should have had that bet back in January of 19. We really should have.
All right, let's
Who
do it
wins
with
this
Hackett.
race?
Let's do it with Hackett.
Fangio or Brett Kane?
I mean, we can do it now. Who? You know what? Straw poll, Marty. Who lasts longer? Brett Kane or Nathaniel Hackett? Who will be here for a longer duration of time? I actually think this is a great question.
This
I
might
am
not be of your own
bound to
volition, though.
step
You
on
may-
my own nuts at some point.
no,
this is
you
going to
are
happen.
Somebody's going to come calling, or your wife's going to say, "I want to go back to Milktown," and then so you could win the bet on your own volition.
All right, just to hold on. Just to be fair, we know the parameters of Nathaniel Hackett's contract. He signed what looks to be a 4-year deal. What kind of deal do you have in place here?
Day to day.
I mean, literally, Vic, you know what's funny about this? I'm going to have a conversation in a few months. I mean, that's where I'm at right now. So we'll see. Maybe this will be a lot faster than people think.
All right,
So you got something coming
I got
up.
20 on Hackett. I got 20 on Hackett. Marty,
Do you got 20
you
on
hold
Hackett?
the money. I got 20 on Hackett.
Vic, what do you
Write
got?
this down. Hell, record.
What do you
this.
got?
These are the tactics I would use. I would walk into that room in a few months and I'd say, listen, we talked about it on the show and we think it's going to be material-like stuff. I would like a similar deal, not in substance, but in time with Nathaniel Hackett. I want to
Oh,
go
I would have gone the opposite.
year by year with him.
I was like, you want to keep me around? Then I get Nathaniel Hackett money.
Okay, no, that's
oh,
stupid.
oh, yeah. Okay, well,
No, just Nathaniel Hackett time.
They'd be like, for this amount of money, sir, we need to talk to an agent. I'd be like, what's an agent? What are those? I have
who are
no
those
idea what
people?
those are.
hey, also, so I love the Hackett stuff. I saw that. Broncos do a great job behind the scenes. A lot of talented people working. Did you guys also, speaking of the AFC West, did you happen to see the news conference yesterday for one Josh McDaniels with the Raiders?
Yeah.
I did
Did
not.
you
Do we
watch
have
any
any
of
of it?
that?
I would love to hear some of it.
Marty will grab
As
some
you
of it.
know,
We'll have it in a couple
can I
minutes.
tell you, yesterday I made the trip down to Arizona,
Yeah,
as you guys
please.
well know, to visit with Les Shapiro's family and send my love for everyone here in Denver. And the outpour of affection for that man and his family was immense. And I can just tell you, it was so therapeutic to visit with his wife and kids and everybody that knows him. And there's a line of people. They're going to have something here. We are going to hold something here. Exact date will be known here probably later today. For those of you who want to memorialize him in Denver, there will be a way to do that here soon enough, and we'll give you all the details.
Good.
So Marty said he's got some audio here from Josh McDaniels as he's talking about like his last stint, Marty, when he was in Denver.
Yeah.
What went wrong? Okay, so here's
I think this is what happened here, yeah.
here's McDaniels.
You know, when I went to Denver, you know, I knew a little bit of football. I didn't really know people and how important that aspect of this process and maintaining the culture and building the team was. And I failed, and I didn't succeed at it. And so, looking at that experience has been one of the best things in my life in terms of my overall growth as a person, as a coach. What do I need to do different? How do I need to handle my role if I have another opportunity and do better at it? And I feel like that's really an area that I've tried to grow in with our staff in New England. You know, our offensive staff working together, collaborating, supporting one another, impacting them, serving them, helping them grow as coaches, as players, with our guys, you know, that we're coaching. So that's the biggest. I would say that's the biggest area for me, and I know how important it is as a head coach to be able to do that.
God, you know what's crazy about that?
He
Moshe?
had none of that, Brett. He had none of that when he was coach here. Go ahead.
Well, it's just to me that is such a common theme, is it not, from that Belichick tree? Think about this for a second. You know, forget about the not winning football games and stuff like that. But almost everybody that you mentioned that comes off that tree, and let's just take the recent ones. So you've had Brian Flores, you've had Matt Patricia, you've had Josh McDaniels, you've had Bill O'Brien. All of them had one thing in common. People there hated that guy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
like him.
Why did Brian Flores get canned from Miami? It wasn't necessarily lack of success on the football field. I mean, that guy's had winning seasons in Miami.
Basically, he clashed with the owner and the GM. I mean,
They're
he's the coach.
difficult to get along with.
He's clashing with the owner and the GM. You don't do that. McDaniels, and here's the thing. When these guys leave that situation, because they're so insulated in New England, right? You got Bill running the whole show, and these are all Bill's guys. When you leave that situation, you come out with some ego because, you've won all these Super Bowls and you've done this and I've been working for Bill and blah, blah, blah. Man, all of a sudden reality hits you in the face a little bit. You're like, oh, boy, it's totally different and you can't throw people around and, nobody thinks you're big cheese, really. I mean, McDaniels really, really, really flopped in Denver. It was a massive, massive blow to the organization to have this guy just screw up so bad. So do you listen to those words, Vic, of Josh McDaniels, now the Raiders head coach? I told Brett yesterday, and again, I don't know how he's going to be, but I always said, doubt him at your own peril, because this guy, the second time around, he's not going to get another. If he blows this, he's not going to get another head coaching job. So he needs to get it right, and he does know football. So do you think that things are different this time for him, Vic?
I don't know. I think he can coach, and I know he knows football. I know that. Anybody who played for him will say he knows football. It's his lack of diplomacy, his inability to take his fingers off the entire operation. He was a control freak
His
to the
bedside
nth degree.
manner, the way he presented things.
There's no doubt.
Mean,
but
he's a very
his
unlikable
inability
son of a gun. Yeah.
to let other guys do their job, coach as coach, was one of his downfalls. And if he can fix that area, if he can improve in that area, I really and I firmly believe Josh McDaniels will succeed as a coach the second time around. We shall see. I could speak from experience regarding the people stuff, like handling people. I remember when we used to do the Josh McDaniels show was it Tuesday or Wednesday? Tuesday or Wednesday, we would tape it at the facility. Brett,
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll research that and we'll get back to it a little bit later on, either whether it was Tuesday or Wednesday.
I don't care. We would go to the facility, and it was supposed to be done like at, let's say, 4 o'clock. There would be days he wouldn't pop out there until 8. We'd just be sitting around for 3 hours waiting for the coach to do his own television show.
Yeah.
I mean, and that was just the way it went. And that goes,
man. It's just
but that was
rooted.
the exact opposite. Was Shanny was on time every time, and not early, on time. Everything was on time, and that comes. A lot of that is maturity. I mean, hey, I'm not dealing with that stupid stuff right now. I got coaching to do. And I get it. Coaches are busy. Coaches are very busy. But that's the people aspect of it. You're affecting people when you do stuff like that.
And Brett, I last thing on this, and this is what I'm laying in bed thinking about, AFC West coaches. I don't know why I do that. I just do. Who's mostly responsible for Mac Jones and his success as a rookie quarterback in the National Football League?
I mean,
Yeah, it's that guy.
Yeah,
It is.
it
It's
is.
Josh McDaniels now. So I'm just thinking, I know what I saw the first time around. I know what I saw here in Denver. I don't know what to expect down there, but man, if this guy does put it together, he's going to be a pain in the Broncos' backside, dude.
Let me ask you guys something real quick, because Vic said something that put my antenna up for a second. Much in the same way we were talking about this a while back, where I think there's a faction of the Broncos fan base that says both of these things at the same time. I'm tired of this head coaching job being a revolving door, and where's the personal responsibility of this organization to not accept losing? And I'm like, you can't really say both of those things at the same time, because that would mean responsibility is firing people, but then revolving door is also firing people. But Vic, you just said that McDaniels had his hands in too many different parts of the organization. He couldn't delegate tasks. And what's a big issue that we had with Fangio is that he wasn't enough of that. Like, he
Sure.
let the offense completely do their own thing and didn't worry about it at all. So there's like this happy medium in between there. If you could take a little bit of that McDaniels control freak stuff and a little bit of the Fangio delegating everything and being lax, if Hackett can be somewhere in the middle, I just looked like one of those monkeys with the symbols, but if he can be somewhere in the middle on that, that would be ideal, correct? Because those are two polar extremes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pretend to know the inner workings of a football franchise and what the best tactic is. I'm sure there are some coaches who do go to extremes and it works, and there are others who do not, who delegate. John Fox liked to delegate. John Fox wasn't a guy who had his hands in everything, and it worked.
Right.
It worked until you got to the end of the road, but it worked for the most part.
Well, I just pictured Josh McDaniels from the movie Tommy Boy when Tommy's at the diner with Richard. He's trying to describe, I got my sale, and then I read my sale. You know, like that. To me, that was his first head coaching job. It's my job, and I love him, and I pet him, and I'm Jimmy the crazy boy. Right? That's dude? He came bursting out. I mean, how old was he, Vic? 30 what? 30.
32, I believe.
32.
I
mean, he's just
believe.
a
I have to
young-
go back and look.
He was just a young dude, and man, hey, I'm running the show. I'm doing my thing. I'm drafting people like a chicken wing. So, I mean, he had it kind of all going on in his mind, and he didn't really have it all going on.
Hey, as
so when guys get older, they mature.
now.
They fit. He's
45 now.
so he was 30.
Yeah, probably 36, 37, somewhere in there.
Carry the one.
-3.
We got a few minutes left here. We're going to talk to Bednard 8 o'clock this morning, but let's go to the Avs for a second. Me and Marty were joking around to start the 6 o'clock hour. I literally forgot what losing hockey feels like. Like, what does losing a hockey game feel like?
I won't know what to do.
Like, we were joking, like, should we just call different radio stations of, like, NHL markets and be like, hey, you, Boston, Bruins pretty good this year, but what's it like to lose? Because I don't know what this is like anymore. And tonight they got the worst team in the Western Conference. Well, but here's the thing, Moj. Maybe the key tonight, and maybe the only thing that Bednar should be focused on, because this should be a game that you win rather easily. I mean, Arizona is really,
don't
really
want to
bad.
have any. Yeah, you don't want to have any. Well, who knows what the Coyotes will be thinking in their heads?
But it's just like keep
But
focused, right?
I don't think anything for granted. I mean, Buffalo played back to back. They beat Arizona. They came in here, they're losing, and they come out. They tie the game, and then they dominate the first half of the second period. I'm like, dudes, it's Buffalo. And these guys are playing hard. So I take nothing for granted anymore. Jared will tell you the same thing, I'm sure, coming up today. But
well, that's the thing, though, with Bednar. His focus has to be, guys,
absolutely,
you got one more night.
No getaway-itis.
Just put this team away, go up 3-4 goals by the second period, and put it on cruise control. And then we can enjoy this All-Star break.
I don't care where you're going to be tomorrow night, whether it's Cancun, Key West, someplace warm. What other warm places are there in this world?
Tahiti?
I think there's only 3 or 4 right now.
That's a little far. Tahiti's a little far to get to and
There's
from.
only 3 or 4?
It's South Pacific, bro. All right,
We've identified 3 or 4
easy.
warm places.
Okay.
Everything else is cold.
Tempe.
I think the Congo. I think the Congo is pretty warm right now.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, Peru, right? Machu Picchu. Anyway, I don't care where you're going to be tomorrow night, but tonight you're here and you're in this room and you're on this ice and you need to get the 2 points. That's I'm sure what he'll tell.
I mean, look at some of these numbers, and I don't think we give them enough. I don't think we admire enough. Let's just sit and admire just very quickly. This is going to be an admiration minute. They've won 10 in a row. That's number 1. Yeah, there you go. I want you to sit like that, Marty. Just admire. They've won 10 in a row. 10. Their home record is 22-1. 22-1 at home. Wow. Their last home defeat came November 3rd. I think that was before Moser was married for the 8th time. That was before Moser's matrimony. November 3rd was the last time they lost at home.
Wait. That's true. That's true. Moser, the last time they lost at home.
Oh, my God.
Moser wasn't married.
That's your straw poll. That's your straw poll.
What is
Who will outlast whom? The Avalanche
marriage.
home ice winning streak or Moser's marriage?
You know, the bear knows where you live. She will
Dude.
fight your face.
Oh my
That
God.
is an incredible.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Moj, you got married before the last time they lost.
Yeah, she's kicking around upstairs.
Good way to describe
She's
your wife.
doing what upstairs?
She's just kicking around. She's doing stuff. I don't know what she's doing. Whatever the bear does in the morning. I don't know. I'm on here with you knuckleheads.
All right, so I have 2 poll questions up right now at Brett Kane Radio. The first one is, who will last longer in Denver, Brett Kane or Nathaniel Hackett? The second one, what will last longer, Moser's marriage or the Avs' home winning streak?
Sorry, Moj. This is for science.
Yeah,
this has
okay.
nothing to do with your personal life.
No, it has nothing to do with you.
I'll tell the bear that that's the case. All right?
It's for science.
Okay. It's for science. Copy.
All right,
You're not
so-
offended, are you?
Well, I'm not. It's hard for me to get offended. Now, I don't. Of course, I'm not the one putting the bear under the bus here. So
What do you mean? Those
Nothing to do with the bear.
She would understand completely. This has nothing to do with her. Zero.
Yeah, this is on you, dude. You will screw it up.
Well, I guess there's always a chance. Yeah, it's always
Jared Bednar in 30 minutes.
possibility.
Stick
out
around.
there.
Right now,
We getting a weather update today? A lot of people are calling for a weather forecast since it looks gloomy.
Yeah, it's fine out.
yeah, maybe
Good,
tomorrow.
good stuff.
Aren't
We've
we?
been fine.
Aren't we supposed to have like? You'll have one tomorrow because we're gonna have like 2 straight days of snow or something like that starting tomorrow. So Marty will take care of you guys then. By the way, also tomorrow to start the show, we'll have Jay Norvell, the brand new head coach of CSU, on with us in studio. So
How is that going to work? Because Fort Collins is not close. That would mean that he's on our air at 7. That would mean that he would have to leave his place in Fort Collins around
Like at 5.
5?
I mean, depending on his little media tour, are we first up? I mean, what's going on here?
How's this working here?
well, I wouldn't.
He's staying in this thing. It's a hotel. He's staying in a hotel across the street.
He's staying in this thing. It's called a hotel. Yeah, that's it.
He ain't staying in no hotel.
No hotel stage.
Anyway, so he'll be with us tomorrow morning to start the show. Now, again, if you guys haven't been paying attention, there's something pretty incredible happening right now. First of all, what's incredible is the Nuggets have rattled off 5 wins in a row, which for how this roster is currently put together, not an easy thing to do, but they've done it. But secondly, look at the standings for a second. Go ahead. The Nuggets are right now the 5th seed in the Western Conference. And only 1 game back of the Utah Jazz, who I think, again, I don't have the total numbers here, but I think they've lost 13 of their last 17 games. They've
They've
really
lost 5
struggling.
in a row. Yeah, 2 and 8 in their last 10.
They just lost Joe Ingles for the year with a ripped up knee, which was just brutal. If you guys saw the actual tear, it looked pretty nasty. But they're going to be without
I don't
Joe
like to
Ingles
see that
now.
either.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
With where the Nuggets are at right now, think about what could take place. So they got a game against Minnesota tonight, and then they have Utah tomorrow. If they beat Utah, and again, second leg of a back-to-back, 3rd time this season that they played Utah in the second leg of a back-to-back. But let's say they win that game. You're telling me the Nuggets could be a top 4 seed about a week and a half before the All-Star break? That's remarkable, considering what this team has gone through.
Just rewind a week ago before they embarked on the road trip, right? Just go back and think to yourself. They got 6 games on the road. They barely beat Detroit at home. You remember the Detroit game at home? How they had it tied late in the 4th because Detroit rallied? And you're thinking to yourself, this team is not playing good basketball right now. It's just surviving. They barely beat Detroit at home. Now they've got to go to Detroit to start the road trip, and they got 6 in a row in what looks to be a rigorous road trip that takes them all over the country. I mean, what did you expect on the road trip? What would have been a good expectation? 3-3?
Yeah.
That would have been good.
3 and 3, 4 and 2. I would have thought would have been awesome.
They won their first 4? Are you kidding me? And they not only won their first 4, they blew out the best team on that trip. And it wasn't even close. So here they are. They go to Minnie tonight. The last time the Denver Nuggets lost in Minneapolis. Anybody care to guess?
Before
It's
I was
game
married.
82, right?
Yep.
I mean,
the last time they lost. It's the last time they lost to Minneapolis.
They got knocked out. Boy, that was like
the
February
last
ago, man.
time
5
they
years
lost
ago.
there. Now they got blown out at home by Minnie earlier this season, if you remember that game.
Yeah,
but the last time they lost there, it's been a while.
The way that, look, and Vic, we haven't talked to you since they won those couple of games over the weekend and played lights out, right? I mean, a 36-point win on the road at Milwaukee with all three of Milwaukee's top players in the lineup, which I feel like I need to mention now because remember when basketball used to be when you play a team, they all have their players and
there's always
nobody
Yeah,
has
there's always
anybody.
that but or that if. You're right. Oh, yeah, they beat Brooklyn, but, Brooklyn was missing its top
Yeah.
three. Okay, that's understandable. But they blew out Milwaukee, and Milwaukee had everybody. By the way, we didn't talk about this. I know Giannis played a great game, and he had his numbers. Chris Middleton was completely shut down by Aaron Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
He did nothing. Drew Holiday had a couple nice plays. He did nothing. Nobody else on that Milwaukee team did anything to the Nuggets.
Do you want to hear something amazing? And think about how good you got to be to have this. So before that game started, I jumped on the FanDuel Sportsbook, and I was like, you know what? Let's just make this more interesting because my thought process was the Nuggets aren't going to win this game. Can I have something else on the line here? And so I was like, you know what? Let me throw down a bet on Jokic getting a triple-double tonight. Do you know what the odds were for Jokic to get a triple-double against Milwaukee? Plus 180. We're talking damn near even money. You put down $100, you get 180 in return. Just for perspective, Giannis gets himself a few triple-doubles, doesn't he? He gets a few. You know what his odds were? Plus 1,200. You would have net $1,200 on a $100 bet for Giannis as opposed to 180 for Jokic.
Goes to show you the difference.
It's close to being expected all the time for Jokic.
Yes.
Right? It's close to being expected like, oh, yeah, he's just going to.
Oh, dude, if you want to bet on him to get a triple or you want to bet on him to get a double-double, it's going to cost you $1,000 to win $100.
Yeah, and he was what, one assist shy of a triple-double, I think, the other night, too, because he racked up all the assists because guys were finally making shots. It's pretty remarkable what they're doing right now. And, Vic, again, you were gone, and I didn't want to be a greedy pig, so I just sort of wrote off the Milwaukee game as I was getting ready for my game on Saturday night, Football's on, or Sunday night, football's on. And I'm like, I ain't going to pay attention because they're going to get drilled by Milwaukee. And they'll be 3-1, and I'm cool with that. Oh, no. They made, and they made, and they made, and they keep making, and I hope they keep making tonight. I hope it.
Make shots, win games. Minnesota is much improved. Minnesota, I tell you what, I used to be down on the T-Wolves, the T-Pups. That team has got a good young core. They're playing hungry basketball. Do you remember what Anthony Edwards did to the Nuggets at Ball Arena about a month and a half ago? Do you remember some of the threes he was making? Do you remember how he could not miss? That was the inverse of what we saw for the Nuggets in Milwaukee. The Nuggets couldn't miss in Milwaukee. Minnesota could not miss at Ball Arena that day.
Okay, got some breaking news here. As was reported over the weekend, now confirmed by Tom Brady himself. He has officially retired from the NFL through an Instagram post, in which I'll just read a portion of it. I've always believed the sport of football is an all-in proposition. If 100% competitive commitment isn't there, you won't succeed. And success is what I love so much about our game. There's a physical, mental, and emotional challenge every single day that has allowed me to maximize my highest potential. And I've tried my very best these past 22 years. There are no shortcuts to success on the field or in life. This is difficult for me to write, but here it goes. I am not going to make that competitive commitment anymore. I have loved my NFL career. Now it's time to focus my time and energy on other things that require my attention. So that's just a portion of it.
I've done a lot of reflecting this past week, and I've asked myself difficult questions. And I'm proud of what we have achieved. My teammates, coaches, fellow competitors.
We already have this story. This is old news. Did he source it?
Well, here's the thing, Vic.
Tom, you can't do this now. It's 2 days later.
When Schefter, here's the thing. When Schefter reported that was Sunday or Saturday at about noon, somewhere in that time frame, and everybody freaked out. And then that 2 hours afterwards, it's like, no, Tom Brady hasn't made a decision yet. And then on Sunday before those games, or in the middle of them, when Schefter's saying, I'm still reporting that he is retiring. I'm like, okay, so Schefter is doubling down. He's positive that this is going to happen. I think Brady just wanted to do this himself and he couldn't. So he's probably pissed off a little bit about that. But Tom Brady officially retired.
And he seemed to intimate that yesterday with Jim Gray, the Let's Go podcast that he does with Larry Fitzgerald too. He's like, man, my whole weekend was sort of disturbed by it. You know, I think he was just more annoyed that it got out than the actual.
Well.
Yeah, well, you're right. I mean,
well.
Tom Brady gone.
Here's my conspiracy theory. I think Giselle called Adam Schefter himself and said, no, he's going to retire. Don't give him time to rethink this.
Adam, help me pull the plug on this damn thing, would you? Let's get it going.
Because, Vic, the only thing I could think of in why they were trying to say that this wasn't happening, you remember when LeBron left Miami to go back to Cleveland and somehow that stayed under wraps to the point where he was the one who announced he was coming back? It wasn't like Woj giving some Woj bomb on Twitter. He was working with a writer, and they kept it so under wraps that he announced it himself. I'm sure that's what Brady wanted, but sorry, dude. We all kind of knew this, and after 22 years, Tom Brady is out.
Okay, so let me ask the question I always ask when we get to this point, this juncture. When professional athletes retire, what do they do next? Where do they go? How do they fill the void? Because let me tell you, man, it's like having two deaths. You talk to pro athletes. Hell, talk to Ryan Harris about it. Why do you think Ryan Harris is so busy today? Why do you think he does so many things? He wants to stay active. For a pro athlete who's used to doing the same thing every day, I mean, life becomes just a Groundhog Day, right? The same thing every day. And all of a sudden, you turn 44, almost 45, and what do I do all day? What do I do with my hands? What do you think he's going to be doing?
He says at the very end it's a very lengthy post. He says at the very end, the future is exciting. I'm fortunate to have co-founded incredible companies like at Autograph blah, 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 at Brady Brand, at TB12 Sports. And I'm excited to continue to help build and grow, but exactly what my days will look like will be a little work in progress. So he's going to do some of this, some of that. As I said earlier,
thanks for
day by day.
Thanks for getting to the bottom line on what he's doing next.
I know for sure I want to spend a lot of time giving to others and trying to enrich other people's lives, just as so many have done for me.
Hang on, I'm
With
writing this
much
down.
love,
Bush.
appreciation, and
Little of
gratitude.
this and that, did you say?
Okay.
Calm.
So he's going to become a missionary?
Little that. You know, a little this, little that. You know.
So I guess I'll ask the question again I had before you went on that. What is Tom Brady going to do to fill the void?
Well, I don't care what he does to fill the void. He can golf until he barfs, or he can get hammered, or I personally at this point I don't care what Tom Brady does from this point.
Because I'll tell you this, he's not as well rounded as Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning can do so many damn things, it's ridiculous. If Peyton Manning tomorrow decided I'm going to join the cast at SNL, I'd be like, great, he's going to be awesome. You saw him over the weekend, right? You saw him do Weekend Update. He could do anything.
I didn't understand anything about what he was referencing, but it looked like
it was still funny.
That show either. Yeah, it was still funny.
But his delivery was perfect.
All right, got to take a break here. We got Jared Bednar joining us in 15 minutes. Stick around. All right, Bednar, in about 15 minutes from right now, here's something that's funny. Look, I don't have an Instagram, and so I don't know, what do you call these, swipes? How many different swipes on a single post, like different slides? What, Marty? Don't give me that look. I don't have it. I don't know what you call it, okay?
I don't know what it's called, but it's definitely not swipes.
Okay, whatever it is. He's got a whole bunch of different pages here of his retirement sort of statement. And can I just read you the beginning words to each one of these paragraphs?
Are we going? Is this the Brady thing again?
Yes. Just listen for a second, though.
Oh, my God. How long are we going to talk about Brady calling it quits? This is old news.
No, listen. This is what I find funny. See, this is different, though, because this is from Brady. Here's the paragraphs. You ready? To my Bucks teammates, that's one. To all the Bucks fans, that's another. To the city of Tampa and the entire Tampa-St. Petersburg region. To the Glazer family, the owner of the Bucks. To Jason Light, the GM of the Bucks. To my head coach, Bruce Arians. To all the Bucks coaches. To every single Bucks staffer and employee. To Alex Guerrero, my trainer. To Don Yee and Steve Dubin, my agent. To my parents and entire family. And lastly, to my wife and kids. Did you notice that there wasn't a single mention of New England in there at all?
I did notice that. There's not one.
See, I got Vic back interested for a second. He said, wow, you were intrigued.
I piqued my interest, and now let's go.
It's kind of funny, though. I mean, it is
That is good.
All right, so a couple of minutes here. And Vic, you weren't here yesterday. Just how about you give me your thoughts on the games from Sunday? Championship games.
I cannot believe that a team is in the Super Bowl. A team that played in Denver, Colorado on, I don't remember the date, but they came in here 7-6. The Denver Broncos were also 7-6. They were playing a game at Mile High Stadium that would determine basically the fate of each team for the rest of this season. Which team would fold, which team would make a run at the playoffs. And at one point in that game, the Denver Broncos led the Cincinnati Bengals in the second half 10-9. Yeah. Because do you remember what happened in that game? Drew Lock comes in, plays quarterback, and finds Tim Patrick on that pass that he short armed Tim Patrick.
That was in the third.
Remember that?
Third quarter. Yeah.
Hit him in the end zone, and it's 10-9 Broncos in the third quarter, 6:21 to play, and in the third, and the Broncos are up on the Bengals 10-9. After that, both seasons turned. One season is on to the Super Bowl. The other season ends with another coaching change. Just think about that for a second.
Because
you're
so right about this because Cincinnati
won that for them.
Hang on,
the play that won that for them.
Cincinnati was in the middle of that year, especially when they started to sputter. We're like, I don't know about this Zach Taylor guy. Not sure about him.
Yeah,
and now he's in the Super Bowl.
So after that touchdown pass that Drew Lock threw to Tim Patrick, the Broncos are up 10-9, and you're thinking, okay, look at this. It took Joe Burrow two plays. The first play was a Joe Mixon run for 12 yards. The next play was Burrow to Tyler Boyd, if you remember that went for 56, and boom, Cincinnati's back on top 15-10. They would never look back. They won the game 15-10. And that game right there, if Cincy loses to the Broncos on that day,
They probably miss.
They probably don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
They probably don't make the playoffs. It's a different season. That team is in the Super Bowl. That team. How many people would have thought that day that team would go to the Super Bowl and represent the AFC? Raise your hand.
Not a chance. Nope. Not only that, but that Joe Burrow that day, 15 of 22 for 157, 56 of which came on the Boyd play, and one touch. That was the Boyd play. Otherwise,
that team's in the Super Bowl.
101 yards passing. That team is in the Super Bowl. But by the way, after that, Vic, I mean, Cincinnati, they sort of turned it on a little bit after that, did they not? I mean, they lost to the Browns at the last game of the season, but they won three in a row, starting with the Broncos, smoked the Ravens, barely got by the Chiefs.
Burrow, his last couple of starts, had 9 touchdowns and like 1,000 passing yards in those 2
weeks.
It
just goes to show you, and it goes to prove to you, much like the Baltimore Ravens, who shocked the world and beat the Broncos here, they got hot at the right time. Their quarterback got hot. You remember when Flacco got hot? and led them to a Super Bowl. And Ray Lewis was dancing and doing all that hooting and hollering. Do you remember that? You can get hot. Sometimes it's not the best team that wins it all. It's the hottest team with the hottest quarterback. This is that year. This feels like that same type of year. The Cincinnati Bengals are not the best team in the AFC. Come on. Let's not fool ourselves. They're the hottest team with the hottest quarterback right now.
That's the funny thing, though. Like
Peyton, as Brett, as Paris Hilton would say.
That's so hot. Yeah, that's hot.
That's hot.
That's hot. Did you just drop a reference from like 2003 on us right
Boom.
there?
Yeah, don't even try me.
You know what's funny though, Vic? Were they that hot? They got sacked 9 times by Tennessee and had 16 points late in that game, and just
they won the game though.
Barely. No, I got you. I mean, they found a way to win. They did.
But think about that. Think about how close it comps with the Ravens the year that they won it all, because Burrow's just surviving. The Bengals just survived. They survived in Tennessee. They survived in Kansas City. Somehow, some way they won. It's not like Baltimore came in here and did anything. They survived Denver.
Yeah.
They needed Raheem Moore. They needed survival tactics to win.
Well, and that's the odd thing. What me and Moser were talking about is, can you believe this? The Super Bowl this year features second-year quarterback Joe Burrow and career failure Matthew Stafford as far as winning football games. Those are your 2 quarterbacks that are in the Super Bowl right now. And you're right, Vic, because let's just stack hat for hat here in the Super Bowl. You tell me, who's better? Who's better?
The Rams are better.
By far, right? I mean, you look at just the top-end talent. Cooper Kupp's the best receiver in the NFL.
But you wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals won. That's what makes this.
Nope.
And that's what I'm saying, guys. For people say, oh, you're comparing Joe Burrow to Joe Flacco. I'm not comparing anything. I'm comparing the streak that both teams are on. I'm comparing how you get a hot hand. And you know what? You're playing poker, you get a hot hand. You're playing craps, you get a hot hand. Hot hand is real, man. Heat is real. The Bengals are hot right now. And the worst thing that can happen to them is 2 weeks off.
And that's poll question. Is heat real?
You know what?
I don't know.
I like
Next couple of days here, I'm not going to get much of it.
Exactly. It's going to be a little chilly outside.
I mean, yes. At Brett Kane Radio, poll question. Is heat real? Yes or no? Or is it all just in your mind, man?
Hey, man, I'm feeling warm in my head,
Here's what's funny, though, Vic, is that you mentioned that, right? Just hot quarterback. And this is what drives me nuts about the people who discuss, like, hey, man, you play in the AFC West. You got Justin Herbert. You got Patrick Mahomes. If you don't have a quarterback as good as them, then you're screwed. No, that's not true. If you make the playoffs and you get in one-game scenarios, Joe Burrow ain't better than Patrick Mahomes. Jimmy Garoppolo ain't better than Matthew Stafford, and they damn near won that game.
But Joe Burrow, but here's the thing about Joe B. He's really, really, really good.
Yes.
And you know what, Stafford, and you call him a career, loser, that kind of thing. Dude, we all knew he was really, really, really good. The Rams don't do jack squat with Jared Goff this year, and you know it.
Oh, here's the
they had to have Stafford.
I'm the choir. You're preaching to me, but there is, I would say, about 50% of NFL fans did not think Stafford was ever capable of this.
Hey, I missed yesterday's show, and you asked me what my observations were. One observation about the NFC Championship game that I just can't get over, and I don't know if you guys discussed it. Obviously, the Rams persevered. They rallied to win. I cannot believe, I still am stunned, that the San Francisco 49ers did not go for it 4th and 2 with the game tied.
That's maybe the biggest
I cannot believe that.
On Kyle Shanahan, because
I could not believe it.
He wouldn't do that.
And remember, McVay called for a challenge on something. There was a challenge.
Dumb challenges.
So they had some time to think about it. There's challenges everywhere. I'm confused. I said, what's challenging everything? And so they had extra time. It looked like they were going to go for it. Then they tried to draw them off sides. You've got Deebo Samuel. You got Trent Williams. You got a ticket to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
What is going on? Did anybody discuss that? Why would they not go for it there?
Well, and the other thing, Vic, is say what you want about Stafford. That dude has led a hell of a lot of fourth-quarter comebacks on final drives of games. He leads the NFL since he joined the league. You really want to put the ball in his hands in that moment?
How many times have we learned this? You're giving up 30 yards, right? You're punting the ball 30 yards. That is not going to detract the team from getting back into field goal range. 30 yards is not enough. Go for it every time. I could not believe what I was seeing. I could not believe that they didn't go for it there.
You know what that tells me immediately? Oh, Shanahan still has a massive mistrust in Jimmy Garoppolo.
Of Jimmy G. Yep. Still he has.
But Vic's right. It's like, run it with Debo then. Put Debo in the Wildcat. Do that thing where you pull Trent Williams on that, whatever that play is, and have him murder people. Why wouldn't you?
I just, you're playing with house money as it is. You're in the game. You're in the NFC Championship game. You're there. Again, you're hot. You're the hot team. You got to go for it.
Is heat real? We discuss with the head coach of the Avs, Jared Bednar, next.
Turn and walk away. I know how this goes. You wanna have it your own selfish way. You've always been a spitfire, baby. You know I'm like the water we don't always mix. It's like someone lit your soul on fire, always burning with desire, can't extinguish it. With you, I don't wanna argue, never wanna fight, never wanna beg you to stay. I'm staying, I wanna be true to you. I wanna be your muse, pick you up on them bad days. I know when you blow your top, baby, that you'll never stop feeling like the world's on fire. It keeps raining all around you, yet you're covered in a cloud of steam. Heartbeat pounding like a rock machine. I don't wanna make war, I just wanna make love to your body. Yeah, the fire in your eyes has got me mesmerized. It's got me bleed. We'll need water to put out these flames. gonna let you go. Gonna let you turn and walk away. I know how this goes.
All right, thank you for joining the program. As always, head coach of the Avs, Jared Bednar. Coach, have you had a chance to speak with Nathan McKinnon after this All-Star break? Or
No, I haven't had a chance yet.
so hopefully Coach can call us in a couple of minutes. He isn't on the line.
I'll text
yet.
him.
No, he's calling now. We're good. He's calling
Okay,
now.
good. All right, good. All right.
Marty didn't want to do it. He's like, I'm going to disappoint so many people if I pretend I'm like, it's fine. It's a 2-second
That was a rushed joke, Marty. That wasn't very well
literally
thought out.
calling.
That's true. Marty was panicking back there. He's like, I got to do a bit, but the phone call. And anyway, we got him now, Marty. We got the head coach of the Avs, Jared Bednar. He joins us every single week. He joins us on the El Mayor Tequila guest line. All calls and all conversations with the coach presented by Audi Denver. First of all, Coach, thank you for joining us as always. Secondly, do you remember what losing feels like? Because I don't.
I hope I can forget what losing feels like, but it's been a while. I think the guys have been doing an amazing job at finding ways to win hockey games, and especially through this last month, it's been, busy. The games have been stacked up on top of each other, and we came after a long break. We came from being 4 or 5 or 6 games below the rest of the league, and catching up all in 1 month, and the guys to go on a run like they have has been amazing. So it's been fun to be a part of.
Well, Coach, the poll we have up right now is a valid one, and wanted to get your take on that. What do you think ends first, your home ice win streak or Mark Moser's marriage? He had to take a drink before answering that.
Hey, come on now! You know the bear. You know the bear, and you know the bear can tussle with you if the.
Yeah, but he also knows how hot his team.
100% be our home ice win streak.
There you
Damn.
go.
You know what? We had a response though, Coach. Somebody said it's going to be Moser's marriage, but it's because the Avs won't lose for 50 years and Moser will die of an aneurysm.
Okay, perfect. That's okay. Then that's okay. Coach, what you're doing right now is remarkable, and of course you'll have the All-Star break coming up here, and tonight you've got the Coyotes in town, and again you're going to be a favored club in this game. But is this a case of all right? You talk to the guys and say. No getaway-itis here. Let's get the job done, and take care of the 2 points at home. Do you even have to say that? Seems to me like the guys in the room know it.
Yeah, no, they definitely know it. Well, we'll just remind them of the things that we want to do and make sure we continue to do it. But the guys have been super competitive and professional through the stretch. You don't have a month like that without really wanting to dig in and kind of keep it going, and they're aware of the little run that we're on, and they're working to sustain that, and I like it because it keeps driving our guys and helping them stay focused in what is the exact middle of the season and All-Star break coming in, but now we started talking about the streak a little bit as we maybe the last week or so, and guys have just continued to come out and play the right way and excited about playing, and they want to keep it going. It's that simple. So they're working hard, and we're trying to give them the rest that they need, and just so we're energized on game nights. And we got this one tonight, and then they're going to get a nice break, and hopefully they come back refreshed and mentally rested as well.
One of the things I struggle with, Coach, and I think a lot of Avs fans do, is you're in the middle of this legit historic run. Like, this is historic. But everybody just has their eyes on, what's coming a few months from now, once the playoffs start and making a cup run and all that stuff. How do you balance the idea of appreciating what you're doing now, but still keeping the end goal in mind?
So even from day one in the season, we talked about our process and what we have to do to have success, okay, and that detail and our checking habits and remaining a dangerous offensive team and making sure our power plays where it needs to be, our penalty kill. So what's happened over the last few years is the standard is raised because of the team that we have and where we believe we can get to. The reality is there's going to be this year, maybe more even than years past, there's going to be 16 teams that get into the playoffs, and every single one of them, in my opinion, is going to be a dangerous team and can win the cup. So you're one of 16. So how good do you have to be? You know, like what does our record look like right now if we were just playing those top 16 teams? So we're always thinking about the big picture and how good we're going to have to be and how dialed in we're going to have to be come playoff time to win. And it's raising that standard that's kind of giving us a lot of regular season success. And you get away with not being your best on lots of nights, just because we are a talented team. We're playing well. We're doing a lot of things right, even though some of them we're not perfect at. But talking about that I think is really important, you know, holding guys accountable to a standard that's going to help us win in the playoffs against top teams is talked about a lot in our locker room, not just by me and other coaches, but also by our players. And they bought into that. They're excited to be a part of that, and they're excited to see where it goes. And then playoffs, you know, it's a restart, and you know, everyone understands that it's 16 top teams, but you know, I think that we have to work at dialing that in over the next 3 months in order to be the best version of ourselves we can be, and then we see where it falls.
Coach, it was announced that Nathan McKinnon will not participate in the All-Star festivities. Have you spoken to Nate? How does he look? What are your expectations moving forward?
Have you seen his face?
No.
So he was here yesterday. I didn't see him because I was getting ready for our meeting, but a bunch of guys saw him. Some brother coaches saw him. He's doing good. Looks good. You know, he's just, you know, he had his nose and fixed, and he's in concussion protocol, which is we've already said, and so now he's just waiting to get better, and hopefully, you know, everything seems to be going good. He's progressing every day, feeling better every day, and he's going to take some time, and hopefully he can join our team right after the break and get practice in and get ready to play. And so just going to be a matter of how much time he's going to need off to kind of get through this concussion protocol to get back and get ready to play. So All-Star game's not an option for him. But I think the rest also, you know, like you got to look at the positives, and hopefully arrested Nathan McKinnon coming back and feeling good out of this break. We'll be ready to make a real good push here in the second half for us.
You know, All-Star game not an option for him, but it is obviously for Kale McCarr. Nazem Kadri is in, as we know, and you're going to be behind the bench. How cool is it now as you are in All-Star week? You've got a game tonight, but just looking ahead a little bit for you personally, to be the guy standing behind the bench of the best guys in the Central Division, to be recognized for that, and you'll be heading to Vegas and hanging out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. You know, like it's, you know, I was able to go to those the NHL awards a couple of years ago, and it was a fun event. It's, you know, everyone's there getting recognized for their hard work, and there's a great camaraderie. The league does a nice job putting it on. The fan, you know, lots of fan involvement. You know, so everyone's excited in Vegas, and this will be very similar. I think you know, I just going. I don't know exactly how much work the coach does, right? Like it's an all-star game, and they're going to go and display their talents, and so it should be pretty relaxed. And I'm excited to go and watch these guys go out and perform, really, because that's what they're doing. You know, like everyone knows that it's not highly competitive, but there's still a competitive nature within the players that they're going to go out and do their thing and put on a show, and I'm excited to go and watch it and be part of it.
What does Jared Bednar do when he's not coaching the All-Star game? If you weren't coaching in this thing and you just had the week off, what would you be doing?
I'd probably go back home to Charleston and get on the boat and do some fishing and just like kind of relax down south for a few days before I came back here. That was the plan. I canceled it, obviously. We'll try to take a day or two here in Denver and maybe head up to the mountains for a day or two and just kind of relax, and then we'll head up to Vegas for the festivities.
What kind of fishing do you prefer?
I usually go inshore fishing, like so. You're trying for redfish or spot-tail bass, red drum, whatever you want to call them, and trout and flounder, and just get on the boat and cruise around some of the creeks up there and off the intercoastal waterway, and do some inshore fishing and just relax.
I'm glad
But
you
if you wanted
clarified.
to,
It's much more relaxing than the deep sea version.
So, but see, Jared, here's the thing with Vic. With Vic, you should. He has no idea what you're talking about. He has no idea.
You could have been speaking a foreign language to me.
Yeah, what you could have said, well, Vic, the kind of fishing I like is when you put a hook on the line and you put it in the water. That's my favorite.
He starts talking about inland and intercoastal, and I'm like, okay. I meant, do you use a hook, or do you would you grab them? What, use a spear? How do you get the fish?
Exactly. Yeah, you got your snorkel gear out. Come on, man. But no, you know what? Offshore though, if we wanted to, could we get Vic? A little deep seaage? Could we throw something out there and maybe a little barracuda or something like that for him?
Yeah, I mean, you can do that there. It's just, like I said, it's more work and less relaxing for me. So I like to do my fishing inshore where I can kind of sit back and put my feet up.
Yeah, I like that.
Vic's just like he doesn't know anything of what's happening.
Yeah, he doesn't know. He has no idea.
Hey, Coach, before we let you go, I did want to ask one more thing about the team, and maybe the biggest change that we've seen that directly translates to this success. Connor McGahee had this on Twitter. Since December 2nd, both Kemper and Frankie have combined to be 19-1-1. They've averaged a combined 2.3 goals allowed and a .927 save percentage with 3 shutouts. What's been the change there from the beginning of the season with how well they've both been playing?
Well, I think, speaking of Kemper, I just think that it took a little bit of time for him to get used to, his new teammates, his environment, and now we're starting to see him play the way we expected him to be able to play when Joe went out and acquired him. I think this is the growth in his game, and feeling comfortable in his new surroundings is a big part of that, and going to work on his game with UC Parker, our goaltending coach. And the second one, Frankie, is him just getting healthy. He's had a long, hard road back to being able to play. A lot of ups and downs in his journey to get to this point. It's been the better part of 2 years that he's been off, and he was a great goaltender for us when he was playing a couple of years ago. So getting back to form and putting in this work and being an experienced guy and just being hungry and excited to play. And then when you mash it together, having both guys and being able to play a rested goalie every night and them still get the practice time they need with the coach, and then sharpen up on their details, do the video sessions, then be able to play a game or two and take a night off and rest and recharge mentally is really important. And that's where we're at. So we're playing rested goalies, the guys, if they play really well, we get them back in the net soon. And they're like this tandem that's working through this, especially midpoint in the season. So they're extra sharp, and as our guys work through their fatigue and through our ups and downs as a group, they're picking us up. So to me that's a really good sign of what you need in order to win down the stretch here. Because our schedule coming out of this break is crazy. It's like it was in January, but now we're going to start playing a lot of the top teams in the conference. It's going to be a tough run against really good teams, and a lot of games in very few nights.
Coach, the last one in regards to your goalies, I mean, I just watch them and they look so confident right now, so calm in their crease, not fighting pucks off and all that sort of thing. They just look like they're just both really feeling it. And that's got to be for you, not only sort of a comforting factor in the guys in front of them, but a luxury factor as well, that both guys right now are just so dialed in, right?
Yeah, I believe that. I think our guys feel that too. It allows our team to go play the way we want to play and understand that we can make some mistakes, and they'll cover them up, and we can still play with confidence and poise, and still get on the attack and be a dangerous offensive team. And we've been pushing our team to be better defensively and not rely on the goalies, and like that's a lot of the things that we're stressing because of where we want to be come playoff time, and trying to get those habits and checking habits dialed in. But guys have bought into that, but you're still going to make mistakes, and teams are still going to force you into mistakes, and they're going to come back on your net. But when they do, like we do feel very confident in the two guys we have in there in the net and the way we're there playing.
One thing I don't understand about ice fishing, when you put the thing in the water, how come the fish aren't frozen when they come out? I mean, why are the fish... How are they not frozen? Everything else is freezing. Feet are freezing, the water's... How are the fish not frozen by the time they come up out of there?
Yeah, so ice fishing, I'm talking about fishing down south,
I know.
Saskatchewan.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm with you. I haven't done a lot of ice fishing even though I'm from Saskatchewan because I haven't been there in the wintertime. So I do fish when I go back home to Saskatchewan and the Northern Lakes, but that's in the summertime. I try to stay out of Saskatchewan in the winter.
That is head coach of the Avs, Jared Bednar, giving you advice on all
semi-fishing expert. Yes,
yes.
absolutely.
First of all, Coach, good luck tonight. Second of all, congrats again on getting the nod for the All-Star game. Very, very cool.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, there you go. Head coach of the Avs, Jared Bednar. All conversations.
Are redfish red?
All conversations presented by Audi Denver.
That sounds
Are
like
they
another
just
poll
turned
question.
redfish?
Are redfish red?
That's actually tricky. They're red once they're out of the water. They are blue underneath.
Yeah, it's like blood. Blood's a different color inside your body. Then it gets exposed to oxygen or something like that.
Yeah.
Remember that rumor? Is that real? Marty, can you look that up?
I don't know. Open up for me.
No. See, we don't. This is the thing, Vic. You missed it yesterday. I don't like to see people opened up.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
We did have a poll question. Yes.
Yeah, I don't.
You can't get blood out of a turnip. That's all I got.
That is true. Now that is true, Vic. Have you ever heard that phrase? You can't get blood out of a turnip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was not listening to you.
No,
I know. I've heard that phrase.
I know that Vic.
No, I've heard that phrase. Yes, I've heard it. Like what? So what? What do you want me to do with it?
Even if the off chance that Vic actually heard what you said, Moj, which maybe he did. When Vic is not looking at the camera and there's a 1 second pause of silence and you hear him go, that means he was not listening at all to what was being said before that. Vic, what did Moshe going to say?
That's funny.
Something about turnips and blood. Yeah, whatever. I got you. Hey,
awesome.
did you guys notice? Did you guys notice though? All this Tom Brady news. I want to thank the coach, by the way. Tonight, the Avs try to make it. Well, how many in a row at home? How
19.
many? 19.
19.
The record is 23.
That is correct. The record is 20
by the Red Wings. Okay, so do you like this All-Star break? Not that there's anything we can do about it. We can't move the break.
But Vic, typically I would say, let me flow it back here then. Typically, I would say, no, man, when you're hot, you want to just keep going, right? When you're playing well, you just want to keep on a ride. But the Avs came out of their COVID protocol through the Christmas, and they exploded onto the scene. I mean, they've got one overtime loss in that span, and that was that call in Nashville for too many men in the ice. And so they came out of that break pretty focused. Like the coach, I would trust the guys running the show in that room, not just the coaching staff, right? But the guys themselves and the core group, the leadership group inside that room, I would trust those guys to get everybody focused when they come out of this All-Star break. And I think they need it. As Jared said, man, they've been playing a lot of hockey. They caught up in those games, and now they actually lead some teams in the division in terms of games played. And the schedule after you're going to be making up those games that you missed during the COVID protocol, it's going to be a pain in the keister. So, yeah, I think these guys could really use an 8-day break at this point.
I'll put it to you this way. This is preferable than the entire month being off for the Olympics. I'd rather have this.
That's a good point.
Because that was the plan, right? It was like they would play this Arizona game and not play again until the 27th or something?
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
Don't remind Moser, because this weekend he was supposed to embark on his trip to Italy for his honeymoon.
Yeah.
When were you supposed to leave?
We were supposed to leave Monday to go to Italy. Bear, you cool with that?
You know what's funny?
Hey, ask her the poll question. Ask her the poll question that we asked Bednar to start the segment there.
Karen, the poll question is, what'll last longer, the Avs home winning streak or our marriage? She's just thinking about it right now. All right. So, how much can I put down on the home win streak? Yeah, how much money can I put down on the home win streak?
She had to think about that.
Yeah, she's thinking about it for a minute. So,
it's thinking.
What kind of odds can I get? Can I get plus 180 on the home win streak?
Moser, I need you to keep your mouth shut for a second. I don't want you to answer this question. I want to ask this to Vic. Vic.
Yeah.
Moser's preference, okay? Would Moj rather be in Italy or calling an Avs game? What do you think that is? Karen would rather be in Italy, without a doubt.
Moj would rather be calling an Avs game over pretty much anything I can think of. You can give me any scenario. Like playing... you know how Moj is built. He's just built different.
If you got a free round...
At Augusta National.
At Augusta, or you had to call the 52nd regular season Avs game of the year, would you say, I need the day off to go play at Augusta or not?
I don't know that I would.
I don't think you would either.
Yeah.
I don't think
man.
you would.
I've called. Yeah. I don't know.
You're a freak.
Well, you're an idiot. Well, you're an idiot then. I mean, you're not. You're an idiot.
Maybe.
Sorry. With all due respect.
Could be.
Don't bother showing up for the 52nd game. Don't bother showing up for the 53rd or 54th. You're done.
That's funny.
All right. Couple of minutes here again. If you missed that conversation with Bednar, check it out on the podcast. Just quickly, though. Did you guys see that stupid video? Like, I don't even know why they put this out. So Brian Dable was hired by the Giants. Did you guys see them do the 40-second video of him pulling his truck into the parking spot, walk out of the truck, go inside without saying a word?
Yep. Not a word.
And we're like, what was the point of us witnessing this?
Didn't understand it. A dirty truck.
But no. The People's Court theme was playing.
Oh, the People's Court one. Well, no, somebody added that later. If the Giants did that would have been a good video.
Yeah.
But
no, that would have been funny. The intent wasn't to be funny. The intent was, look at our coach getting out of his truck.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought the Giants did that.
No, somebody else did.
Oh, my God. He's got a suit on with a briefcase, and he doesn't look like a freaking lawyer. But what's so weird about it is...
Are you kidding me? That guy totally would be representing himself in court. Yes. And if you guys are missing the riveting video, we have it up right now. Look at this. This is like
I guarantee that's the only... I guarantee that's the only suit he owns, and he probably bought it just moments before that.
Yep.
Well, the weird part is that he pulls into an empty parking lot. It's not like hustle bustle around Giants headquarters or anything. It's like he just
one
pulls
handshake
in,
and now he's in. All right.
That's just bizarre, man. Why would they do that?
Hey, can I tell you something?
He didn't lock his door. Did you notice that?
Wait, Vic, cars can lock themselves. If you get a new car,
he didn't do the thingy. He didn't lock it.
When you walk
he's in New York. He's
keys,
in Jersey.
When you walk away with the keys in your pocket now, cars lock themselves. Some of them do.
I don't know what kind of freaking hi-fi car you got, but you got to hit a button of some sort. They don't just lock.
They do. My wife's car does it.
They don't. Well, my car doesn't.
Well, my car does not do that.
That is the dumbest thing ever. You think that truck's just going to lock on its own? You think he walks away from the truck, no keys? You know what that tells me? That thing was staged.
Totally staged. 100%. Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
He's
that was
probably
staged.
in the building, and some intern goes, "Oh wait, coach,
hey, get out and go in your truck."
We'll show you
100%. 100% staged.
Yep.
At no point did he take his keys out, turn his car off. At no point did he turn the car off.
You want to know how I know that I'm right on this? My wife's car keys has not left her purse since she bought the car.
It doesn't mean that she has to hit a button to lock it.
She doesn't hit
walk.
A button. She walks
you're
away,
wrong.
And the car locks itself.
That's wrong.
When the
You're
key is out of
100%
range.
wrong. No.
What do you? I've never seen my wife reach into her purse and hit a button on the key.
So if her keys weren't in her purse and she just left them in the car with the car lock on its own?
Well, you got people on the text line. That's an F-150, says the Bronco Mikey 85. You have to hit the fob with the beep beep to lock it. It doesn't just lock on its own. The dude did not lock his truck, and he's going to work in New York City. That thing's going to be gone in a matter of minutes.
Jesus. Dude, there was nobody else around. The parking lot was empty. Where's he going? Who's he going to meet with? There's nobody there. That's so weird.
Vic,
I thought the Giants put the tunes on like, oh, look at it, haha. No, there's somebody added that later to a stupid silent video of the coach walking alone with a briefcase into the facility.
Vic, you used to be on the news.
My God.
If somebody came up to you for your sportscast and said, I got a great shot of the head coach walking into the facility, and they showed you that, would you have aired it?
Oh, 100%, because you know, first of all, you don't see him in that environment. You don't see him in a suit, but it was staged. I could tell by the way it was shot, and as quickly as he exited the truck, it was staged. It's okay. We stage things. I'll be the first to tell you, television stages a lot of stuff. That was staged. Yep. Just admit it.
Yeah, somebody says, why did it look like he was entering a high school?
It really did.
The Giants facilities look like Cherokee Trails down the street here. That's weird, man.
303-504-0925, back in 3 minutes. All right, couple of things here just to get some clarity on this. I knew I wasn't going crazy. Thank you, texters who are saying, yes, my car automatically locks itself once I don't have to push a button. I don't have to do anything. It just, you get out of whatever zone that is for your key fob, and the car locks itself.
Well,
So
I don't
that's
have
one.
that on my. I don't have that on my truck.
I don't have
guess
that
I'm not,
either.
I'm not as high tech and advanced as you are.
Are you still driving that Honda?
You Jetsons fans with these freaky cars that do. Can I ask a simple question? I want to get off this topic and get back to sports. I apologize for taking us off track. But when in life, this is to all the car manufacturers out there, when in life did we determine that it was necessary to invent something that doesn't necessitate a key turning, like the key fob itself? What is the big deal about taking a key into the ignition, turning it on, and starting the car? Why is everything a fob? I like a key. I like a good turn.
I don't know.
I like just boom, turn it up.
Why do we have to push a button for the window to go down when you could just crank?
No.
whatever
That's
that thing
convenient.
is?
No. That's stupid. Now you're stupid. One is convenience. The other one is. I'm talking about what is so hard about taking your key and doing this, because the fob, what that does, invites other problems. You leave it in your wife's purse when you drop her off at the airport, and all of a sudden you have no.
How would
there's
that be
things
any
that
different
happen
if that was an actual key?
because a key's in the ignition. Coltrane, the key is in the ignition, spark plug. It's not in your wife's purse as it goes bye-bye.
Here's
The
something.
point is, it's
It
not.
sounds like that's happened to you before. It sounds like this is from experience. but I can't be
You know
sure.
what I mean? Where in life did we get so lazy that we decided, nah, this key, this is too complex. This is too much on the wrist. Listen, that's stupid.
Yeah, last thought on that. We have an older Jeep in this family, and I drive it on occasion. And I'm like, I sit in it. I'm like, oh yeah, I have to put the key in the steering column ignition. I've got to. It's sort of weird, man. You sort of get used to the modern technology stuff where you just push a button.
Well, I don't like the buttons. I just want a damn key. Give me my key back.
Okay.
Okay. So I was going to bring something else up. We'll move on, but stay tuned in about 10 minutes. Vic has treated one of our employees here very, very poorly, and I don't think he even did it on purpose, but he was a jerk to one person here. So we're going to get to that in a little bit.
This morning?
Recently. I was told a story where, look, it's unbeknownst to you. You don't even know that you did it, but you did it. So we'll get there in about 10 minutes. In the meantime, so the only first reaction we can get, speaking of new coaches, this all started with Brian Daboll showing up at the Giants facility. The only thing that we've gotten out of Nathaniel Hackett, look, he had his press conference Friday afternoon. We ran some audio of that on yesterday. Vic's one-on-one we ran yesterday.
Well, dude, I'm not sure I need to see him go to the grocery store, on video.
But here's the thing. The only thing that we can surmise anything out of Nathaniel Hackett right now is personality. And Marty, can you give me that Josh McDaniels quote from earlier in the show? So Josh McDaniels gets hired by the Raiders, and he brings up something he thinks he messed up on in his first go-around as a head coach when he was in Denver. If you guys missed it, listen.
When I went to Denver, I knew a little bit of football. I didn't really know people and how important that aspect of this process and maintaining the culture and building the team was. And I failed, and I didn't succeed at it. And so looking at that experience has been one of the best things in my life in terms of my overall growth as a person, as a coach. What do I need to do different? How do I need to handle my role if I have another opportunity and do better at it? And I feel like that's really an area that I've tried to grow in with our staff in New England.
Okay, so that's good enough. That was Josh McDaniels at his opener for his opening press conference for the Raiders. But one of the things that hit me, Vic, is, and I think this stuff matters. Now, how much, we can quibble on how much it matters. Mm-hmm. But I think going to a work environment that's enjoyable matters to success. I think it matters in a lot of different businesses. We've all done radio shows, I'm sure, with guys that we hate or people who hate each other on the show. It's not fun, and it doesn't make the show better, and I don't think it makes your business better. If nothing else, I think that stuff, especially for these Patriots cast-offs, have hurt them. the way that they've treated people thinking I'm just like Belichick when they aren't. And for a guy like Hackett, this seems like an enjoyable work environment just from the small snippets that we've seen. I remember times last year, and you guys, look, it's all speculation. I'd venture to guess, though, there were times where a lot of Broncos players weren't having fun at work. You know what I mean?
I think you make a very valid point regarding the Belichick coaching tree. A lot of those guys go into places and try to become another Belichick, and they try to play a role rather than be themselves.
Right.
And I think that's what Josh did when he came here. He tried to play a role. But when he says he's better with people, I guess my follow-up to that would be, well, how did that work 3 years ago when you accepted a job in Indy, told everybody you were going, including assistants, and then decided, nah, I'm staying? That affected people.
That treated people very poorly.
I mean, and that was just recently. So
well, maybe, let me put it this way, though, Vic. If he didn't feel that he had learned enough, or why am I defending McDaniels? I guess I'm not. But he said, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then, maybe I'm just not ready for another job yet. It's better to do it that way than flame out or leave people high and dry after a year or whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and defend him. I just know that people grow and people change and people become different people. Now, he may fail terribly with the Las Vegas Raiders. Who knows?
I'll tell you what.
I guess I'm up for it because there's going to be a lot more on the line now when the Broncos play the Raiders. I promise you that.
Let's pretend he takes a page from his Broncos playbook when he came here and took the Broncos job. Because the moment he arrived, it was chaos. All right, he started moving everything. He removed his quarterback and traded him for Kyle Orton. Okay, he took what looked to be a promising young offense that just came off an explosively offensive season with Jay Cutler and his weapons. And the going out party for Mike Shanahan wasn't a party, but remember the message Mike Shanahan gave when he left is whoever takes this job, you got yourself a hell of an offense. Don't mess with it. What's the first thing he does here? He messes with the offense and gets rid of the quarterback. So I'm very eager to see if Josh McDaniels walks into Vegas and says, excuse me, Derek, I have a meeting. Can we visit real quick? I mean, does he keep Derek Carr and further his career? Or does he trade Derek Carr to, I don't know, name a team for some journeyman quarterback that he thinks he can,
Denver,
you know what I'm saying?
Denver.
I didn't hear the clip, but I saw it was a video from the NFL Network that was tweeted out. It was David Carr talking about Josh McDaniels, and the quote that they had attached to it was, Derek is pumped up, or something like that. So Carr seems to like this move for now.
Jay Cutler was pumped up for the first 24 hours, too. He was pumped up, too. I remember for a fact. He was like, yeah, man, this guy's an offensive dude. Great. Next thing you know, I'd like to see you in my office.
Yeah.
Hey, Brett, do you know what happens after you're pumped up?
You deflate?
You get unpumped.
I think that's
There was
deflate.
a lot of unpumped. You use your vernacular, I'll use my vernacular.
Okay, gotcha.
There was a lot of unpumpedness around these parts, starting with Jay Cutler, but a lot of people got unpumped. They were pumped. See, pumped and then unpumped. You see the difference, right? Okay, so there was unpumpedness. Now, Derek Carr may be pumped right now, but who knows? He may be unpumped with a quickness. Or Josh McDaniels may look at it and say, let's not mistake something here. Derek Carr's got talent, okay? He may not be an elite, upper, super-duper echelon guy, but he's definitely in the top half of this dang league, and he can win football games. And he proved it coming down the stretch. Who won all those games for the Raiders down the stretch when they've had one of the most tumultuous seasons ever?
Yeah.
Why are we even talking about the damn Raiders? I don't want them to
You know
win.
why?
I'm just saying,
Be careful of
them. It's not, Nathaniel Hackett just doesn't walk in here and say, playing, I'm calling the plays, and we're going to be still good inside the AFC West.
The reason I'm intrigued is
that are doing the same
McDaniels to the Raiders is good for the Broncos-Raiders rivalry.
Oh, yeah,
if we can
100%.
get it going again, if we can get it boiling again, if we can get it meaning something again, because, no matter how many people try to tell me it means something, it has been utterly meaningless for the last decade plus. Nobody's cared about this rivalry. When the Broncos were really good, the Raiders were really bad. When the Raiders are good, the Broncos are bad. You need both teams to mean something, to do something for this rivalry to re-engage. And the fact that he's there now. That's great.
Oh, hell yeah. So when we come back, it's funny, this theme of the way you treat people, there's two different examples of two different locations in this country freaking out because of the way they feel like they're being treated right now, along with the way that Vic accidentally treated one of our employees here. We'll get to that when we come back. All right, broadcasting from the Michelob Ultra Studios, so a theme has begun to take place here, and it's about the way you treat people. And McDaniels was just talking about that at his opening press conference with the Raiders. But I got a couple of more examples. Sticking in football for a second, have you guys seen, and Marty, if you could get some of these calls on like WEEI, I'd be so pumped. There are, I guess, Patriots fans saying they are burning their Brady jersey because they were not mentioned in his retirement post.
You hurt your peelings?
Yeah, so a lot of people in Boston
fans peeling shirt?
freaking out because Tom Brady did not have in a 5-page Instagram post a single message of anyone from that organization. He thanked, I think, every citizen of Tampa in there.
Pretty much, yeah.
But did not thank anybody from New England. So they're pissed.
My nanny watched the kids.
Yes.
She's been great.
So that's one. Here's another. Did you guys see that Jim Harbaugh has a interview with the Minnesota Vikings tomorrow? And you know why that's kind of significant? Tomorrow is National Signing Day in college football, and he's going to spend the day in Minnesota interviewing for that gig. Which seems kind of weird, does it not?
That's either a huge power move to try to get bread out of Michigan because Mel Tucker
bread that he gave back. Bread that he gave back.
Or he really wants the hell out of Ann Arbor.
I'll tell you what this is. No, this is a message to Ann Arbor. Hey, you guys made me take a pay cut. You almost fired me. I gave money back, and now I take the team to the semifinals. Give me a new deal.
Could we just
acknowledge for a second? Think about it, dude. It's National Signing Day.
No, it's the second one. The bigger one's in December now, but still, it's National Signing Day. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
and you got these kids going, hey, if I go to Michigan, will Harbaugh even be there? He's interviewing with Minnesota today, and I'm sure that other coaches will say the same damn thing to those kids.
Well, and listen to this. Like, could you guys imagine? Like, let's think about what's happening in college football right now. So we've had coaches like Lincoln Riley leave OU to go to USC. We've seen Brian Kelly go from Notre Dame to LSU. Michigan just made the college football playoff for the first time ever. And if Harbaugh takes a gig in the NFL, how does anybody keep their coach anymore in college football? Like, how the hell are you? If all of that stuff that I just mentioned, OU lost their head coach to somebody else. Notre Dame lost their head coach to somebody else. In Michigan, Michigan, blue blood, just made the college football playoff, might potentially lose their coach to somewhere else. That's unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
Of where college football is at. And I don't know what the change is because it's not money. All those schools have money. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, hot seats get hotter, faster. Hot seats get microwaved now.
But his seat turned into a freezer after making the college football playoff.
It went hot and cold. He's still pissed. He's still ticked that his seat got hot.
But here's the other one, and this is where Vic has accidentally offended our own Jesse Trujillo.
Uh-oh.
So here's
what
Jesse
happened. Doesn't get offended very easily.
And maybe offended is too big of a word. I don't think Jesse's offended. And sorry, Jesse, I'm betraying a trust, but we're going to talk about it now. So Vic, Ryan, and Jesse are all going to Los Angeles, courtesy of Superbook Sports for the Super Bowl. Be on Radio Row, have a whole bunch of chats. It's going to be Wednesday through Friday of Super Bowl week. And Ryan, I guess, asked both Jesse and Vic, hey, when we get to L.A., you guys know Ryan. He goes to California quite a bit. He goes surfing. He goes, you guys want to go surfing with me? And Jesse was like, oh, that sounds great. Of course, I'll go surfing. But Vic said, I can't swim. Can we do something else? Which I
didn't say, can we do something else? I said, I can't swim. I'd be happy to watch. That's exactly what I wrote in that text chain.
Okay, but then, because you said I can't swim, Ryan said, well, how about we go golfing? Which, if you don't know anything about Jesse is not a golfer. He's not a golfer. Nope. And so Jesse went from a great time on the beach doing some surfing to basically caddying for Ryan and Vic when they go on this golf trip. See, it's all accidental, Vic. You didn't mean anything by it. I don't even know if it's not. Probably
so what
not
did I
even
do
your fault.
wrong? But what did I do? Where am I wrong here? What
Jesse
did
was going to have a great.
Hey, Jack-o'-lantern. Jack-o'-lantern. You want to read the text chain? I said. In fact, I still have it in front of me. Jesse, let me read the text chain.
I love, by the way, Jesse was like not offended at all. I just wanted to make this sound like a beef, but continue, please. Let's pretend.
Tell us, what's our plan? Tuesday, what's our plan? Want to go surfing? Vic's response. I don't know how to swim, but I'd happy to tag along and watch. No problem.
Dude, you're over the age of 50, by the way. It's time you learn how to swim.
That is true. Like, what are
you
doing
pisses me
here?
right off. I'm pissed.
I ain't jumping in some ocean at the age of 52 learning how to swim. Who gives me a lesson? A 16-year-old?
I'm just pissed that you can't swim.
I am
and I'll
too.
leave it at that.
It's offensive.
Okay,
that's offensive to me.
So where am I offending anyone with that response? That is the most you softies. Okay. What is wrong with this generation?
Jesse, grab the mic. Tell him what a jerk he's being right now.
You're not a jerk, Vic. I'm just not the golfing type.
All right, let me put it this way.
Look how nice he is still.
Here's what I do know.
Jesse, I needed some heat.
Here's what I do know. Jesse had a chance to go surfing, and now he doesn't.
Because Vic's lack of parenting when he was a young child.
My only day that I'm going to have free, so surfing would have been fun.
But Jesse, why don't you tell them to go get bent and you just go to the beach yourself and go surfing?
Wait a minute.
You don't need
Jesse
that.
said that in such a way, Vic, you can't turn that down. He gave you puppy eyes through his voice.
Let me tell you something.
It's my
here was
only
my follow-up.
to do something
No, here's my
fun,
follow-up.
please.
Because Ryan's the guy that suggested golf. But here was my follow-up was going to be, let's go to the beach. You guys go do your little surfy, swimmy stuffy, and I'll play basketball on Venice Beach with the boys because that's what I do. I play sports.
Yeah. You'll get dunked on. I've got a better plan. This is one that's good for everybody. Forget the.
You ever played at Venice Beach there, big boy? You ever gone there and just run at Venice Beach? That's what I thought.
Do some muscle beach workout. Hey, forget.
You guys do your little.
Rings. I did the rings.
You go do your little surfy surf. Go ahead, just go out in there. Do that little. Yeah, you go do that surfy.
Forget the beach. Forget the golf. Go to the tar pits and see a mastodon, man.
Yes, Jesse called it.
Go see a mastodon, baby.
I cannot believe that we spent. You guys set up that segment. Brett spent.
Why don't you go to the Hollywood Hills and go to the Hollywood sign? Why don't you do all the touristy stuff?
Vic was inadvertently mean to a coworker. If that is your definition of mean, we have the softest generation of human beings behind me that I could ever imagine, if you consider that mean. Let me tell you what mean is. If I had texted back, screw Jesse, I don't care what he does. Ryan, you and I on our own. That's mean.
Here's the thing. Jesse just was not, I don't think he was prepared that I needed him to be over the top for the bit to work. If that was Marty, let's pretend this is you. Marty wants to go surfing, Marty doesn't golf, and Vic does this. Marty, what did you think about what Vic just did in the middle of that text chain?
I think it was garbage, but, I mean, what else do you expect, you know? That's fine.
See? That's what I needed. I needed that.
God, no, just fake news. Then now we're just making crap up.
If Vic wasn't so soft, maybe he can get in the ocean. Dip his toes in.
See, there you go. That's what we needed. This softy who can't swim. I'm scared of sharks in the ocean.
Not jumping in some foreign sewer water. Did you guys hear all about all the sewer water there outside of LA that's going into the ocean? They can't even control it. What do you think? I'm going to jump in a pile of goo? Learn how to swim there? Some freaking 14-year-old's going to teach me how to swim? And then jump on a cardboard box and I don't get it.
I'm going to jump in a place with all these animals, things swimming around. I feel like I want to touch a fish. I think I want a fish touching me. Ain't nobody touching me.
Let me make you a promise, Vic. If I ever
go fishing with Bednar,
if I ever get in that hot tub of yours, me, Moser, Marty, if we all jump in, we're just having a bros night, drinking whiskey, watching TV out there. I'm gonna pee so much in that hot tub of yours. I mean, just
never let you in
there.
I never let you in it.
Yeah,
trust me.
Dude, before I drink like 4 beers.
Just for that. Hey, Jesse and Ryan, if you're in.
Oh, you've been in the hot tub for 3 hours now.
I don't have to leave.
I'm fine.
Just for this. Now I'm ticked off. You guys, I tell you what, you guys do your own thing. You guys go hold hands on the beach. I'm gonna go play ball. I'll be playing ball.
Okay, there, Magic. Whatever you say.
Would you like to play?
God, that's funny.
Basketball in the pool, Vic?
I'm going to go play ball. You guys go do your thing.
Oh, my God.
All right.
Dude, you got it. But let's, I mean, and I'm being dead serious. I know it's sort of prideful for you in this regard, but you got to learn how to swim, bro. Okay?
I'm 52. I don't need to learn how to swim anymore. I'm not going to, listen, my goal in life is not to cross the English Channel. Oh, watch me swim across from one country to the next. I don't care.
So you're going to go play basketball because your goal is to become LeBron James here in the next couple of years?
Because that's what I do. No, because that's what I do somewhat well. And I could play that game. I cannot do the water games.
Those kids are going to turn you inside out. Don't even think about it.
Probably.
Would you rather be able to swim or have a pure jumper? Which one of those would you rather have?
Like a Jimmer Fredette jumper?
Yeah, just a wet jump shot.
If you ask me, okay, so
well, you can't be Jimmer because then you'd be a pro. That's not fair. It's just got to be like.
Well, ask me this: would I rather be like Phelps? Like, would you rather be a multiple gold medalist in swimming, right? Like every gold medal known to man, or would you rather be on an NBA roster, barely play but have a wet jumper?
That's not a fair comparison. That's not fair.
That's not even at all because basketball's a much more popular. Spectators.
Okay, well, give me a comparison.
I just gave you one. Like you're somebody who can knock down a couple of shots in a pickup game, or you can swim. Which one?
Well, I already can do the shot making in a pickup game. That's stuff I already do. So that's easy.
See, I'd take the swimming. Like I would rather know how to swim than do that. Because what am I going to use the other thing for? Swimming.
I use it all the time. We'll go play today. We'll go play.
Probably because you can't swim.
Exactly right.
All of that swimming energy.
I've tried.
I've tried.
I've tried to swim. It's not easy. I don't know how people keep their head underwater, and it's confusing, and then they say, yeah, put your head up. Is head down or up? Which one is it? Which one is it? Down or up? When do you breathe?
I just love how Vic, if he watches like Michael Phelps or something like that, he's just so confused on when do you breathe when you're in the water.
Because it's not natural. Human beings aren't meant to do that. That's stuff that we just invented. It's not natural for a human to just jump in that liquid and do stuff.
But it's natural for a human to throw up a 30-footer.
Yeah, much
Yes.
Okay. 52-year-old man on Venice Beach chucking 30-footers. That's natural.
Yes, that's natural. And then talking trash.
All right, take a break. Back in 3 minutes.
So let me tell you all the things I really hate about you. You call me when you need me, then you drop me like yesterday's news. Take me on a date, but it's another lame pool party.
So just a couple of quick texts here. Champ Automotive text line. First one, that segment was a letdown. I was really hoping to hear that Vic boxed out an old lady at the water cooler and knocked her down. Look, I'll be the first one to admit, you take some swings. I didn't like where that one went. I was hoping for something better. It didn't work, but it does give you good text on top of this with Vic not being able to swim. One texter says, does Vic have a lifeguard on duty for when he gets in the hot tub? Which I think is a good question.
Well, it's Terry. Terry's a lifeguard.
Yeah.
Matty B
Don't
texted
call
me
me
during
that.
the break. Matty B texted me during the break. He's incredibly qualified, Vic. He'll teach you how to swim if you want to learn how to swim. That's number one.
I don't
But number
care.
two-
You guys are making a big deal out of this. Like, I care. Do you think I'm going to die one day and
just
say,
wanna take
God, I
you
wish
and
I would have
throw you in
learned?
the
I don't
pool and say,
care.
do it.
I don't care. I don't care. It's not a life. I don't have to have this to live
Can
a
I
long,
tell you something,
happy
though?
life.
I knew a guy who grew up in New York. He never learned how to ride a bike, okay? And at 28 years old, he rode a bike with no training wheels for the first time, and it was electric. The amount of people that cheered and how loud they cheered, it was one of the most amazing moments of my life. I want that for you. I want that first swim.
You know what I'd love? I'd love to do a show with one of your damn dogs without a dog barking. That's what I would love. I'd love that before I learn how to swim.
I'm in studio. My dogs are not here.
No dogs in studio here. You guys are at home.
In the meantime, again, 303-504-0925. Yeah.
Are you catching all of this unrest coming from New England? Because
Oh, dude, I get Marty glued to WEEI's feed right now. I'm trying
Tom
to wait for
Brady.
somebody to call in and start complaining. Yeah.
Tom Brady today officially announced his retirement 2 days after he was already announced. It's like old news, dude. Sources, please. He announces his retirement via Instagram and Twitter. I'm gone. And in that announcement, he thanked everybody in the greater Tampa area, everybody having to do with Tampa and its fans, and never, ever mentioned New England.
Yeah.
No one. Nothing. No,
Hey,
the
when you
fans,
say
the
you-
coaches, nobody.
When you say he mentioned everybody, it was literally everybody in Tampa. Everybody that's tied to the Bucks and the people of Tampa and St. Pete. He gave shout outs to, yeah.
And now everybody in New England is so hurt. My feelings are hurt. And I guess my reaction is, yeah, he's angry. Big deal. Big deal. So your feelings are hurt because he didn't mention you and he didn't thank you and he didn't make out with you when he retired. Big deal. It doesn't change the fact that the New England Patriots were a dynasty for the better part of 2 decades. They dominated the league. They won more hardware than anybody in the history of the game. It doesn't change history. They're still the Patriots with Tom Brady. So he didn't thank you. So what?
Okay, if I were to try and make this as apples to apples as I can, let's say that the Rams win the Super Bowl this year. Next year they play again. They don't win the Super Bowl, and Von Miller says, you know what? I'm done. I'm retired. And he gives a retirement Instagram post, and it's 5 pages, and all he talks about is the Rams, not one mention of the Broncos. Would that be weird to you?
Sure. But at some point in life, it'll turn around and you'll like him again. Like everything else in life. Everything heals, right? Mm-hmm. Everything heals. So how many people right now, we had this discussion a year ago with Carmelo Anthony when he was booed at Ball Arena. Oh, it's still fresh. The wounds are fresh. Do you think they're going to stay fresh forever? A day will come. I'm telling you. And
It might.
A day will come where Carmelo Anthony will walk to center court at Ball Arena. And it's not going to be his number in the rafters because that number belongs to Joker. But some ceremony is going to take place, and people are going to applaud Carmelo Anthony. Why? Because the time will heal.
You know, you're probably right on that, but I'll tell you, I think it's going to take a long time for that one because Carmelo didn't just leave and not say anything about Denver. He's kind of taken backhanded jabs at Denver since he left. And that's another aspect of it. Brady never did that. He never talked trash.
Well, that's the only question I would have for Brady is, it's one thing not thanking Belichick, not thanking the Patriots organization, because you're mad, right? It didn't end well there for whatever reason. But not thanking the fans, you could have done that at least.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, I found it weird. I read that and I was like, wow, not a single mention. And so I thought, Vic, is he just gearing up to give New England their own separate post now? And I found it weird. If nothing else, how about the fan base? Because you're seeing, and you keep seeing it on Twitter, these Patriots fans, I'm burning this jersey, all this different stuff. Because you know what's weird? I would say majority of that fan base, Vic, Like, you'd agree with this, wouldn't you? Majority of that Patriots fan base was actually rooting for Tom in Tampa Bay, weren't they? Like, they seemed to be happy for him that he won.
Oh, they were still. It's funny you said that because so many of them almost factioned off and said we're Brady fans still to this day. Yeah, Brady fans.
That's what I found weird. If nothing else, you can mention those fans there. I thought that was odd, but still, you're right. It'll take a year. He'll go to the Hall of Fame. He'll say something about the Patriots. He'll be like, "Oh, yay, Tom again." Woo.
Now, if he carries that 5 years from now, 5 years when he does go to the Hall of Fame, because there's a 5-year window, and all of a sudden he never mentions even then 5 years from now, then okay.
What did Peyton do?
What the hell's going on?
What did Peyton do in his speech at the Hall of Fame? Did he mention the Colts a lot? I can't even remember now.
He mentioned both the Colts and the Broncos.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, there was a little bit of there was a little animosity from the Indy side that Manning was a little too pro Denver in how he approached stuff. Like he was like too much but it's all recency, right? He finished in Denver.
Right.
He finished in Denver, and that's just. But he acknowledged both franchises. He was right down the middle there, and you know what? The representation at the game, both from Indy and Denver.
You know what's crazy to think about with Brady is Brady's dominated virtually every team in the league, and the Broncos are one of the only teams. I think there's only 4 that he didn't have a winning record against. He was 9-9 in his career, but he's 1-3 in the postseason. That's a pretty nice feather to have in your cap, is it not? We're talking about maybe the greatest athlete who's ever lived, and you're able to have a winning record, especially in the postseason when that guy's at his best in his career. Pretty remarkable.
Yeah. What's remarkable is that a man that's 44 years old, soon to be 45, finished his final season in the NFL, ranked first in wins, first in completions, first in attempts, first in passing yards, 5,316. First in yards per game, 313. First in passing touchdowns, he had 43 of them. Second in QBR, 68.1. And that man's retiring? Those numbers?
This is the question I asked yesterday, Vic. 2 weeks ago. If I told you had to put your money down, does Tom Brady retire before he's 45 or after he's 50? Which one would you have done? Because I'm like, this dude just led the league in touchdown passes.
Well,
if could be an MVP still.
That's what I'm saying. If you knew nothing about his announcement, and I just read you those stats, right? Said this is Tom Brady in 2021. You're thinking to yourself, oh, well, there's going to be a 2022.
Mm-hmm. He's got 3 years left, at least. I mean, that's what's insane. Is I just never thought when he led the league in touchdown passes and, Vic, because we know how competitive he is, got bounced in the divisional round, that he would have said, nope, this is it. I'm done now.
Again, he led a 44. Think about this, NFL. Think about this. Hey, NFL, the youthful, exuberant NFL. You just let an elderly man at the age of 44 walk around back there, finish first in completions. He had the most passing yards of any quarterback in the league. And he had the most touchdown passes of any quarterback in the league. Yeah, that's an elderly man that did that to you.
Mm-hmm. What was it? Only 2 other guys played quarterback at an older age than him. George Blanda was like 48, and I can't remember the other guy. Is it Steve DeBerg? Was he the other guy who played into his, like when he was 44? I think it was Steve DeBerg.
Vince Evans played late into his life too, but no one would approach those kind of numbers
Not
at that
dominate
age.
like that. Hell no.
Ever.
How old was Warren Moon when he finally hung it up? How old was he?
I'll look it up.
All right. That's pretty incredible. But again, he's walking away. Can you say he's walking away at the top of his game? I know he did not win the Super Bowl this year, just got bounced. But, I mean, with all those categories in his favor this season.
So Warren Moon, his last year, he was 44, but he only had 37 passing attempts the 2 last years combined, so he barely played. But in the league, yeah. Certainly wasn't putting up 45 touchdowns, Moshe. He wasn't doing that.
It's amazing to me. I mean, it really is. How long? Think about it, though. He knows if he doesn't want to fully commit, he finally says, okay, enough is enough. I need to spend time with my family and so on. Okay, that's awesome. But if he truly wanted to play, how long could he play? Effectively. Okay, so he's got 45 touchdowns this year. Maybe when he's 49 or 50, he throws for 32 maybe.
Like when, that's a
golly.
great point there, Moshe. Where's the decline, right? When do you say, oh, my game's declined? I mean, judging from those numbers, the game's getting better every year.
Now, Manning's happened fast. I mean, Manning happened almost overnight, right? Because he was putting up 40 touchdowns, and then it went to that final year where he was 9-17 for 9 touchdowns, 17 picks, whatever. So it could potentially happen fast, but I'm with you. I don't know when. I don't know when that would go down.
I'm amazed. Age is just a number. I get it. We all have fun with age. I cannot believe that a human being who is 2 years older than the newly named head coach of the Denver Broncos, newly named, he's the new head coach of the Broncos, and this dude is soon to be 3 years older than that dude, and he just produced those numbers in an NFL season, and he's calling it quits after those numbers? What the hell?
But can you imagine if John Elway had left the Broncos the last couple years of his – let's say he left after the second Super Bowl and went someplace else and won a Super Bowl. Just played a couple years, but then never thanked anybody in Denver ever.
Yeah, when you were gone, Moj, what I said was the closest thing I can get, because we've had Manning come here from another team, but I said it'd be like Von Miller winning the Super Bowl this year, retiring after next year, and thinking the Rams and only the Rams. It would be weird.
No.
It would be weird.
It would be weird. Yeah. It would be.
I did hear this debate over the weekend when it was already
so
a done
bizarre.
deal. And we knew Brady was going to retire and all that, riffraff about, was Schefter right? I mean, come on, don't be stupid. Nobody goes with the story of that consequence. Of course he was right. You think he's just taking a stab at it, everybody?
I made that point yesterday. It's perhaps the biggest retirement announcement in the last 30 years. And Adam Schefter, who's an absolute pro, along with Darlington, you don't run with that story unless you are 1,000%
exactly right.
positive.
Everybody who took a shot at Schefter, you say what you want, but nobody, come on, man.
He doesn't get things
Calm
right.
down.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
So
Not like
here's
that.
my thing, though. Here's my thing. This argument came up over the weekend. Well, it's assured now Tom Brady retires as the greatest athlete of all time. All right, calm down. Pump the brakes. He's the greatest quarterback of all time. We can acknowledge that, right? Right? Greatest quarterback of all time.
I mean, I don't know why pump the brakes.
Athlete? The definition of an athlete.
Well,
he is not the greatest athlete of all time.
Different discussion. I mean, I think it just means when they say athlete, that just encompasses all sports. I mean, he went to half the Super Bowls that he was in the league for.
Still doesn't make him the greatest athlete of all time.
He's pretty close.
You can make the argument that, you can go across all generations and all sports. Why not Wayne Gretzky then?
Yeah.
Why not Michael Jordan?
That's fine, yeah. I'm saying he's definitely in that discussion. I mean,
sure.
Look,
but
if you want
in terms of athlete, what an athlete is, right? The definition of an athlete. Tom Brady posted some amazing numbers, and he played the most important position in team sports, the quarterback position. Doesn't make him the greatest athlete, makes him the greatest quarterback.
Well, what you're doing here is it's like when people say MVP, there's different definitions to people. Like, is it value to your team when you're on the floor, when you're off the floor? Because Jokic wins that. Or is it you're the best player in the league statistically? Or is it your team has to be good and you have to, everybody can kind of use that to their own sort of thing.
Yeah, you can cut it up. I get it.
I just still cannot believe he didn't thank anybody in New England at all. Zero.
I wonder what happened.
What happened? I mean,
I think I know what happened.
You can thank the fans.
What happened?
They told him to leave. Belichick was done with it.
They thought he was New England.
But hang on, Moshe.
You can thank them without thanking the organization.
But why wasn't he mad that if they told him to leave? Why wasn't he bitter then? Why
I bet
now?
he was.
Why didn't he express it then? Why
he didn't
now?
even express it now. All he did was omit them. He's never talked trash.
By omitting an entire fan base, after spending the bulk of your career there, that is a pretty blatant.
Well, this is where you and me are on the same page.
That's a get bent. That is a whole. All of you, New England,
you're
everybody,
100% right.
Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine.
This is where we're on the same page.
Especially you, Rhode Island. You're a bunch of blanks, right? I mean, he basically said the whole region, stuff it.
This is where we're on the same page, though. The fact that he didn't mention the fan base. Say what you want. If he's pissed at Belichick or the Patriots organization or whatever. Or how about this? How do you think Robert Kraft feels? That guy defended Tom Brady even after they let him go. You know what I mean? The fact that he didn't mention the fan base is super bizarre because, Mose, we were just discussing, that fan base kind of rode with Tom to Tampa to a certain extent. Their team stunk, and they're like, oh, whatever, go Tom in Tampa. We're all in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I apologize if I'm repeating things you guys discussed on the show yesterday. I wasn't here yesterday, but I didn't realize that this whole Schefter reporting the Brady thing was such a big deal. I thought it was ridiculous news. Of course he was right. Of course it was the story. 9-3-78. Schefter deserved to get ripped, whether he was right or wrong. You don't steal someone's opportunity to retire under his own circumstances, even if you're 100% right. That is the dumbest thing I've ever read. Schefter's job isn't to protect someone's opportunity to... do you think Schefter goes to work thinking, well, it's my job today to allow this guy to present it? No, it's his job to report the news and what he believes is to be right and factual. That's his job.
Yeah. I mean, he has no responsibility to Tom's feelings in this. His responsibility is to report things, and he reported it.
Somebody gave him a tip. And you know what? Perhaps the tip was given to him by New England.
Oh, man, what if that was? Maybe that's why he's pissed. Maybe that's why he did it. New England scooped my story.
What, how? Okay, so would the Patriots somehow know? Like through league,
I don't know.
How do I put it? League business. Would they get a hint that he's going to retire? Is there a paperwork filed or something like that? And then they break it to Schefter. And he's like, the only way this could have come out is if the damn Patriots leaked it to Schefter. So, but still the fans, man. I mean, those people, we experienced it firsthand, Vic. Would you like to hear that story, Brett, again?
No.
The Tom Brady fan in L.A. that
No, I would not like to hear that. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, but other than that, these people defended him to the hilt. They bought everything he ever did.
Actually, I wouldn't mind hearing that story one more time.
Shut up.
Everything.
There was this guy sitting in front of us.
Enough.
I'm talking to the lady cop.
Thank you, Marty. Can I move on to something else, please, which is the Avs tonight as they're going for 19 in a row at home. It is against the worst team in the Western Conference, which is Arizona. And it's the game before the All-Star break. We just talked to Bednar earlier today. And the theme seems to be, guys, we got a break coming up. Stay focused for another 12 hours, and then we'll be good. Then you can do whatever the hell you want after that. But
you know
keep
who else
this
has a break
focus.
coming up here? You know who else has a break coming up? The Arizona Coyotes.
Mm-hmm.
They have a game at home tomorrow night against Calgary to round things out. They've lost 5 in a row. You don't think they have some serious get the heck to a warm place-itis?
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure they do too. But that's so if you're the Avalanche, mind your P's and Q's and get the 2 points.
And we talked to Bednar about this earlier in the show. This is what he said about the game tonight.
Yeah, no, they definitely know it. Well, we'll just remind them of the things that we want to do and make sure we continue to do it. But the guys have been super competitive and professional through the stretch. I mean, you don't have a month like that without really wanting to dig in and kind of keep it going, and they're aware of the little run that we're on, and they're working to sustain that, and I like it because it keeps driving our guys and helping them stay focused in what is the exact middle of the season and All-Star break coming in, but now we started talking about the streak a little bit as we maybe the last week or so, and guys have just continued to come out and play the right way.
So that was Bednar earlier in the show. And Vic, let me ask you a question that we were talking about yesterday, but you were gone yesterday. First of all, I'm sure you've seen this by now, that in the month of January, the Colorado Avalanche lost less games than the Denver Broncos did in the month of January, which is insane. And secondly, what do you do with this? Because we all kind of, as we're watching the Avs do this, we have grander plans in mind. So you're watching these wins, and basically what's happening is you're looking forward to May, and you're saying, can this sustain, like not at this pace, but can you keep this level of play going all the way throughout the playoffs? But I almost feel like I'm being unfair to the Avs at times, in which I'm not truly appreciating what they're doing now because I'm so focused on what's ahead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I hate to go here because it sounds... I just want the playoffs to get here. I'm still that I want this team that's doing what it's doing right now, and I want to fast forward to April, May. I want the playoffs. I want whatever they're doing now, like hold it, keep it, maintain it, develop it, cultivate it, maintain it. Whatever's happening now, hold it, push it, do it in April and May. Like the now stuff, this is great.
You had 2 maintains in there.
I'm sorry, but it's great now. They're making, I mean, listen, it's amazing. But if I told you, do you have to have the President's Trophy again? oh my God, is that really necessary? You know what I'm saying?
Well, how about this? Let's talk about this with Eric Lacroix, who joins us now on the El Mayor Tequila guest line. He's joining us because there's something cool happening tonight. First of all, Eric, thank you for joining us. Can you explain what exactly is happening at the Avs game tonight before they head into the All-Star break?
Yes, guys. How you doing?
Good, buddy.
What's up, E?
Tonight's a big night. I'm proud to be part of the Mountain States Ford Dealers Program that honors first responders. So tonight we're recognizing Officer Nate Kalberg. He's dedicated his career to law enforcement and has served our beautiful community for over 20 years. Officer Kalberg and his family, they're going to be at the Avs game tonight, hosted by your local Mountain States Ford Dealers. Ford, the Avalanche, and the Avalanche Alumni Associations have great respect for our first responders, and tonight should be a fun night. Like I said, it'll be great to have Officer Kalberg there with his family. And just a quick note to say that his son, Alex, also plays for the Arapaho Warriors, same as my youngest son, Ty. So they'll be exciting for him to be at the game tonight and watch some hockey.
Yeah, very, very cool. He's been with the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office since 2004. So he's dedicated his life to this, as you just mentioned. We'll get back to that in a second, but we were just talking about the Avs. And, Eric, the question I have, and I might have asked you a version of this last week, but it's like appreciating the Avs and what they're doing now as opposed to keeping one eye on the playoffs and just kind of waiting for that to come along. How do you balance it?
Well, it is a long year. It's like we talked about at the start of the year when they were 4-5 and whatever they were at the start of the year, and then everybody was in a panic mode. And I remember I said something to the nature of, if you talk to the players, they're not panicking. At the end of the day, we all know it's a long year. You're not going to dominate for even the extent of time that they're doing right now. This is abnormal. This is absurd. It's unbelievable what we're witnessing. It's outstanding. But at the end of the day, I do listen to you guys. That's how I learn about football, because I always said I'm a one-trick pony. I'm a hockey guy. But I listen to you guys in the morning, and you guys were talking about it's not always the best team. I don't know if it was Brett or Vic, but he said it's the hottest team. You guys talked about that for a while, and that's huge. And I tell you, you'll talk to anybody that's won the Stanley Cup, they'll tell you, yeah, sure, that was a good team. That's an average team. But at the end of the day, it's the team that's the hottest that goes into the playoffs, and it goes a lot with what's happened during the regular season. But go back not too long ago to the LA Kings, right? Their first cup was at 13 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Average team, you know what I mean? Average team finished 8th. Next thing you know, they couldn't lose the game in the playoffs, and that's what you want to do, and that's what you're forming right now. That's what the Avalanche are forming through this great run, is to be able to adapt to anything that's thrown at them. And I think tonight's a great challenge. You talked about it's a trap game, right? It is. You know, you're playing the Arizona Coyotes, worst team in the league, and you got the All-Star break, and you got to make sure you're focused. And that's what they're talking about. That's what Landeskog is bringing into the dressing room tonight. It's like, hey guys, Let's be all business tonight. Let's put the things aside, and we're going to have to do that coming up in the playoffs, whether you lose a game or there was a bad call, or it's all part of the game, right? Tired. So next thing you know, you have to be able to put the noise aside, go do your game, and be the best team you could be, which would be the best team in the league right now, which would equal to a win tonight, obviously, in the standings.
Well, I'm glad you listened to the first hour of the show, Eric, when we talked about Joe Burrow heating up. And I guess I'm not like being nervous about the Avs. I'm just wondering, is it best to peak now or peak in May and April? I mean, hell, remember last year? They went into that Vegas series. They just steamrolled the Blues. They won the first game against Vegas, and you're like, my God, this team's unbeatable. And then somebody hit the brakes. So I don't know what to think. I don't know what it takes anymore. I'm not sure if you need to go in on a streak. I don't know if you need to go in hungry. I mean, you tell me. What does it take to know that your team is going to make that run in the postseason?
You got to make sure Joe and the fellas are not listening, or Coach Bednar. But I think for me, the best thing I would like to see is coming back after the break and facing a little bit of adversity, losing 2-3 in a row, just to see. And to see how, and again, like I said, hopefully nobody's listening right now. And then, but it makes you just deal with it a little bit better. Again, I go back to Tampa all the time. Remember,
slapped in the face,
so Rosie. Yeah, so you got to be able to answer the bell when things don't go your way. And right now, it's going their way. They're making it go their way because you have to give them credit. They are doing the job. because they are good, and they're showing everyone right now that they got everything. Got to love that McDermott kid. You know, Derby's bringing some toughness. Now they feel they're invincible. We'll see how they react when things go a little sideways. And you got to remember the schedule. Who knows how it's going to be coming back after the break, and they got to make up some games, and we'll see how they react. Again, I think they have the team to react well, but a little bit of failure here and there wouldn't hurt them going into the playoffs, so they know how to address it. But again, they've addressed it the last couple of years too, guys.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a long lesson. You got to think about it for a year.
It's Eric Lacroix. So we got about 30 seconds here. Eric, one more time. What's going on at the game tonight?
Well, you know, we're so excited to be part of the Mountain States Ford Dealers Program with the Avalanche Alumni Association, obviously the Avalanche, and then Mountain States Ford Dealers. We're very happy to honor Officer Nate Kalberg that's going to be there with his family. He's dedicated his last 20 years to law enforcement. So tonight's a big night at the Ball Arena for the Avalanche, for the Coyotes, but also for Nate Kalberg and his family. It's going to be exciting to have him there and to talk some hockey with him and his family. Like I said, his son Alex plays hockey, so it'll be fun to be there with his wife and his 4 kids.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Looking forward to that. Very, very cool. E, always appreciate the time. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
You guys are the best.
That's Eric Lacroix. He joined us on the El Mayor Tequila guest line. 303-504-0925. You guys want to get another half an hour. Avs, Nuggets. A lot to get to still. Stick around. All right, Avs last game before the All-Star break tonight. Also, we have
with the
Nuggets taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Vic, the Nuggets are winners of 5 in a row after getting the sweep, culminating with a 36-point blowout of Milwaukee in Milwaukee with all of their big three in. I guess the question I have for you is this, and by the way, the Avs are going to be on 92.5 tonight with the Nuggets on AM 950. The question I have is this. What's kind of been the change here? Because I have noticed one little small detail that's changed as far as the rotation goes, which is Facu's been playing less, Bones has been playing more the last couple of games, and they've been playing Bones in a point guard type of role. He's been out there as a shooting guard a few times, but I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Bones at the point guard position. He was making some passes that were kind of Joker-esque, threading the needle.
And that could change. That's the thing about having some depth and having players who have experience out there is that if it's not working with whatever you're throwing on the court, you can always change to something else. But I have a problem when people criticize the rotation of a team that wins. The team's won, as you mentioned, 5 in a row, 10 of 13. And this is the rotation currently in place that's winning. This is the team that just blew out Milwaukee. Why in God's name would you try to change anything? Like for those who say, well, this guy's got to play more. No, he doesn't. You're winning. Mm-hmm. And you keep doing what you always do until you stop winning. Correct?
Yes.
I mean, isn't that the dumbest thing you've ever heard? Well, maybe this guy ought to get more playing time because no. Whatever you're doing is working. So keep doing what you're doing.
I need some information from you, Vic, and maybe you're the only one that can provide it to me. Number one, what's wrong with Boogie?
Just a foot injury of some sort. I think it's the same injury he had that delayed his signing to begin with.
Okay.
I don't know the extent of it. I didn't examine the actual foot.
Okay. Number two, yesterday I was reading in fact, this was 10:30 yesterday morning. Shams sends out this tweet. The Denver Nuggets have been granted a disabled player exception worth $2.7 million for the loss of Michael Porter Jr., sources tell The Athletic, blah, blah, blah. DPE is granted for players deemed to be out for the season. Deadline to use the DPE is March 10th. Now, out for the season can mean different things. Does that mean out for the regular season and he's eligible to return for the playoffs? Or does out for the season mean, and the disabled player exception, does that mean he's gone until September, October, November of 2022? What does that mean?
Yeah, when I read that report, it had me a bit sideways as well because I've gotten every indication that MPJ is going to return this year at some point. It just looks that way, right? Just the way he's shooting now and the way he's moving. Here's the way I've deduced it after talking to a couple people. Getting that DPE doesn't mean necessarily he's done. It doesn't mean that, put him on the shelf, he's done. It means that they have that option to use it if indeed he cannot return. They have to apply for it and use it by March the 10th.
Okay, so they apply.
Okay? We're still more than a month away.
It's in their hip pocket right now.
Yes.
They got a month to make a decision.
DPE. Yeah, we got this DPE over here. Okay. All right, well, that's cool. So they're hedging their bets a little bit just in case MPJ has a little bit of it.
Exactly.
I can't even believe I'm saying this. Brett, help me. Brett, in case he has a little bit of a setback because he's looking for it. Oh, damn it. Okay. I forget I even asked. Forget it.
Thank you.
I'm just telling you, we don't know what they'll decide to do with him. They have not deemed him done for the season yet. Not until they exercise that money. If they exercise that money and use it, then he's done for the season. Then it's official.
Don't use
they haven't done anything there yet.
Don't use the money. Don't seek the treasure.
You know, something else here, Vic, that, and you're right, criticizing rotations when the team
like
is
that,
winning
Martin?
is stupid.
You did like that. I know you did. You got it. Martin got it.
But
I don't like the fact that, that actually became the whole MPJ thing. Like, I didn't even know that was even I didn't even know they were looking for that player exception. I thought it was a foregone conclusion he'd be ready to play. So if there's any bad news, it's that, still an option that he may not play.
Could be just keeping your ducks in a row, something like that.
Could be, but,
But here's the thing. The last few games from this team, here's what I've noticed. And you guys know this about me. I'd be hard-pressed to find somebody who loves Facu more than I do. And I know Facu's limitations. But with him off the floor, and you have a lineup now after this trade, Vic, of Bryn Forbes, Bones Highland, and Zeke Naji. You know what exists now that maybe didn't before the Bryn Forbes trade? Spacing. And it's all going to depend on if these guys can hit their shots, right? If they hit it like they did in Milwaukee, it makes it really easy. But there's 3 guys now that are coming off the bench that you can't leave open on the three-point line. Bones being one, Bryn Forbes being another, and Zeke Naji, who's hitting it at what? Damn near 50% clip this year? Limited attempts, but about 50%.
Well, now Will was knocking it down the other night, too.
Now that
Will was knocking it down, too.
Well, he's not on the bench, though. I'm saying just bench players. When you have to be concerned about that, that makes the defense play completely different for the opposing team when you have 3 guys at a minimum that you got to worry about shooting from the outside. That's what I like about this.
Got to make, though. And they made against Milwaukee. When you start making, it's contagious. Other guys make.
Homie, how fun is it, by the way, when the Nuggets are blowing a team out? Finally. It's been a long time since we had one of those, but they're blowing a team out. And then what do you see in the last 3 minutes? You see it old 0-0 going to that scorer's table. You're like, oh, it's Marcus Howard time.
And he's put him up real quick, and he made everything he shot. Yep. He came in. Remember, the Marcus Howard thing was when he touches the ball, it's going.
Yes.
Right?
You know what?
Ain't gonna pass it.
You got a family, Vic, you can relate to this. You got a huge Italian family. But like the littlest kid, right? And all the big kids are around the dinner table. And the littlest kid got to get in there and eat as much as they can.
Run
while
to the
they
litter.
Can.
Got to get there.
Yeah, they got to get in and get all they can while they can, and then they get the hell out, right? Because they don't get much, right? There's the big kids are like, get away from me, kid, get away.
Now, in Howard's defense, though, Moj, like when he plays actual rotational minutes, he doesn't play that way. He knows the situation. But if it's last 3 minutes, I'm checking in for the first time and the game's a blowout, this thing is going towards the rim every time I touch
100%.
it. Yeah. And what did he do? Knock down all 3 of his threes that he put
3
up
for 3.
minutes.
Bam, bam, bam. It's like, yep, I can still shoot. Remember me? I could still shoot.
Yeah. Before we get to break, Martin, did we have a little thing there a little bit ago? Did we have a little understanding, you and me?
Yeah, you referenced the movie that I actually know.
Do not seek the treasure.
Do
not seek the treasure.
Maybe
we had a thing, Brett.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about right now.
Can I tell you something?
I thought she was a toad. We had a thing, dude. That was good.
Moj,
Marty,
I think,
high five.
Moj,
high
I
five.
think if you
that was a good one.
A good one.
If you do the line one more time, Marty will laugh really hard again. Try it one more time.
Dude.
Yeah, that was a joke. I mean, three's enough. Three's enough.
How many times did he say it? I think he said it 3 times.
Vic, Moj is like just a little kid, isn't he? When he gets a laugh at the joke, he says the joke 5 more times just to see how many more times people are going to laugh at the joke.
Yeah,
and
like,
That's going to be 2 weeks. That's going to be about 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
Damn, well, you're about 2 weeks from everywhere, ain't you?
All right.
I don't know what he's talking. I don't know what's going on right now.
Yeah,
Marty, got 15 minutes left.
Just
you guys
between
wanna
you and
shoot
me,
us a
Martin.
text?
It's all good. All right, buddy.
30933 Shop Automotive text line back in 3 minutes. All right, so a couple of minutes left. If you guys missed the show, check out the podcast, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. Moser, Lombardi, and Kane had a nice little chat with the head coach of the Avs, Jared Bednar. And you know what? While you're there, do us a favor. Leave a 5-star review. You should. I mean, this is a 5-star show.
Please leave a 5-star review. Absolutely.
Give it 5 stars.
This is no worse, I promise you. No worse than 4.83 stars.
I'd agree.
So you just round up. That's what you do.
I was actually just looking,
incidentally.
we have too many 5-star reviews, so we actually don't need any more.
Oh.
So we're good.
Oh,
okay.
My favorite part of that whole interview with the coach, Vic just went sideways. And let me explain for those who did not hear Jared Bednar. You can go back and listen to it on the podcast. But we talked a lot of hockey about keeping his team focused for tonight and then the break and him coaching the All-Star game and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool. But then Vic says, well, or I think you said, what would you do if you weren't coaching the All-Star game? He said, I'd probably go back to the house in Charleston and do a little fishing on my boat. And so then Vic asks a fishing question, and then he sits there like this. The most deadpan face in the entire world because he had no idea what Jared was meaning about anything regarding fishing at all. Right? And so, Brett, this ties together. Vic doesn't like fishing because he doesn't swim. Vic doesn't like water unless it's in his shower or his hot tub. Other than that, he doesn't do water. You understand this, right, Brett?
Yes, I get it.
I drink it.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted right now because I'm reading the story about Mike Zimmer. Remember him, the former head coach of the Vikings now?
Yeah, I think we remember Mike Zimmer.
Yeah. Did you know about Mike Zimmer is that his girlfriend is somebody who looks like should not be dating Mike Zimmer?
Very well aware of Mike Zimmer's girlfriend, yes.
Okay, all right. So we've established 2 different things. Here's the third, that she's on a Twitter rampage right now ripping Rick Spielman, the GM of the Vikings, to anybody that wants to hear it.
Yeah, so she's like a 20-something Instagram model or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, what, 50-something dude, right?
Yep.
He's bona fide.
Yep.
He's a suitor. Sorry.
I'm telling you, this is a new era. I think we're treading into some waters now. Not necessarily a 50.
No, Mike Zimmer is, dude, he's 65.
He's 65 and
65.
That
no way
is what he's dating.
Yes. She's like an Insta model, right?
Her name is Katerina, I think. There's an A after the T, so it's not Katrina. It looks like Katerina Elizabeth Mikatin.
Okay.
That is dating 65-year-old Mike Zimmer.
He's soon to be 66. Yeah.
What's his game?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I want some of that. Whatever that game is, I want some of that.
She's an Insta model. Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, whatever.
Anyway, this seems to be new territory we're treading on, which is maybe it's just, a younger audience is getting into their 20s and dating professional athletes, but doesn't it seem like we've had a lot more of a very vocal, significant other thing in sports now? Brittany Mahomes and Matthew Stafford's wife has like her own podcast that she does about the football team.
Did you see her go running up Did you see her go running up on the field to him the other day?
Oh yeah.
I don't think they're more vocal. They just have more of a platform.
Right.
I mean, social media has allowed that. I mean, 30 years ago, they maybe were just as vocal, but didn't have a means to communicate.
I just want
to do whatever I want, not have people be mean to me.
Marty, can you put a request out for Katerina to join the show? And the first question I ask her is why?
This is a Vic interview.
I've actually this is. So can you do it?
Dude, this is a Vic interview where he just says why. Why?
I'd say what was his game?
Why?
What's the game?
So you like him? Yeah, I like him. Why?
To be honest, I'd love to have a sit down with Zimmer and ask Kane point. Hey,
actually, you know what? What's
your game, dude?
What's the more interesting interview? Is it Mike Zimmer on how he got her, or her why she got with Mike Zimmer?
I mean it sort of has this Anna Nicole. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Hey, Moj, don't fool yourself. What? There's not a minute that goes by that people see the bear and say, "How did you get hurt?"
That is true. Mm-hmm.
What was your game? What'd you have, a freaking soggy 7-Eleven burrito in one hand, a big chaw in your mouth? What exactly sold her on you?
If you have to ask, you'll never understand.
Yeah. Couple of minutes left.
No, listen. The only reason that game, it's history. That's why it's the history aspect of it. Otherwise, I'd be dead meat.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Zimmer. I was like,
what? Oh, she's burying 1980s Moser. She's burying 80s Moser. She has no idea that 2022 Moser, you're still 80. I get it now. I get it. This is like going, I get it. I know what this whole relationship's about. This is a time machine.
Mo still pulled up in the Camaro with the leather jacket with "She's my
Here I go."
Yes.
That was "Here I go again on my own."
Yep, that's what this is. This is actually a White Snake video.
Is she Tawny Katane?
Yes, this is a White Snake video. Reincarnated.
How's
That's
that for
what
some
we
80s
have.
knowledge, by the way, Moj? I dropped a Tawny Katane on you.
Well, she just passed away. That's why.
What was your game, Brent? I'm just curious with your wife. I met your lovely wife. What kind of game did you have? Did you take your hat off and say,
she's
"Please
colorblind. She
feel
can't see that you're
sympathetic"?
clear. She can't see that you're translucent.
How'd she see you?
My wife likes to fix things. She likes to redo the house, and I think I was a good little fixer-upper sort of project for her, and I just kind of stuck around.
Let me go find a guy that doesn't even know we have car insurance. Where can I find one of them?
You ever seen what's that show called on TLC? It's My 600-Pound Life or something, and they're dating somebody that's like almost can't get over the fact that they can take care of themselves now. They like to take care of people. It's one of their favorite things in the relationship. I think that's my wife. She likes to take care of people.
I know what it was, Vic. The Nebraska State Fair, Omaha. She walks by and she's like, look at those hands.
First place in the milking convention.
Who's that boy?
I'm telling you, you guys will never understand wearing that blue ribbon around that state fair.
Dude, yeah.
Meanwhile, Marty's wife saw him playing pong by himself on that ping pong table that he had to close because nobody wanted to play.
Come on, man. Come on.
What's Marty's wife's favorite part of their relationship? Marty's a good listener. He's a really good listener.
She's like, you know what? If I ever get cold, I can just wrap myself up in one of them ears and he'll keep me warm and comfy.
You guys are mean.
Well, what are you talking about, dude? You got a tongue the size of a dinner plate.
Yeah. Terry just likes to look down on her husband, you know.
For me, it's all about the dancing. I closed with the dancing. That was my point. If you can dance, no, seriously, no, I'm not joking. Listen to me. Hey, men, for those of you still looking for a significant other, if there's one thing I can teach you, a man happily married for 27 years, if you want to close, all right, you want to close the deal, learn how to dance and do it well. That gift, Marty, talent.
Give him some music. Go ahead. Show us what you
did.
did.
No. That gift, that talent will take you to places you've never bought. I'm telling you right now.
So, dude, what would happen if Terry ever accidentally fell into the...
All right, Vic, go ahead. Show us.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not your clown. I'm not here to amuse you. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not falling for it.
Yeah, you're not a closer, bro.
This isn't a TikTok show.
You're a fraud. You're a
fraud. Can you imagine Terry accidentally falling in the pool, and Vic going, I don't know what to do.
Hang on.
Clearly,
I'll go get the floaty. I'll go get an adult.
Clearly. Here's a lawn chair. Hang on to this. Clearly. You know, the dancing was way more important than the swimming aspect.
Come help me.
Vic never said, "Hey,
you know what though?
Hey, you want to go? Yeah, you want to go to the lake for the weekend?" He never said that to Terry when they were.
Brett, it's interesting you say that. I'm not a fan of those pools that go like from 3 feet to like 12, real quick, like boom. Like, hey man, you gotta warn me.
You're underneath.
Yeah, you gotta warn me. That stuff, like, hey, everybody, let's have fun. We're in the pool, and then all of a sudden you take one step.
All right, hey, we got 2 minutes left in the show. Let's do a quick poll question update.
Results. It's time for the poll results. It's time for the poll results.
All right, at Brett Kane Radio on Twitter. This is where you can find it. At Brett Kane Radio. Who will last longer in Denver, Brett Kane or Nathaniel Hackett? Which one?
I would say Brett Kane.
Yeah, 53%. It was close, but it looks like I'm going to outdo it. What will last longer, Moser's marriage or the Avs' home winning streak?
Clearly me and the Bear.
56% say the Avs home winning streak will last longer.
Oh, God, that's cold-blooded.
And then finally, most important question of the day, is heat real?
I would say, yeah,
real?
heat's real. Yeah,
What
it's
led
real.
to that question?
Because you said heat is real.
Yeah, you said heat is
So
real with
it
Joe
is-
Burrow. Heat. Is it real? 75% say yes, it is real. All right, so we don't got a fact checker, but we do have some phone calls here from WEEI of people that called in complaining about Tom Brady. Marty, go ahead whenever you're ready.
If Tom Brady doesn't send out a separate Instagram post thanking the New England Patriots, I'm going to lose my damn mind. And we spent 20 years together, and he couldn't thank Robert Kraft or Bill Belichick? Yeah, man, we don't need him. Throwing Super Bowls in the harbor. Tom Brady has ruined my life. My son is crying right now. Tom Brady. I say we don't let him in the Ring of Fame. It wasn't even that great anyway. I always wanted Drew Bledsoe to keep quarterbacking this team. Stuff it, Tom Brady. Yeah, hey, this is Jimmy from the South Bronx here. I never liked that Tom Brady guy, but I got to tell you, I think you guys are getting a raw deal there down in Boston. I'll hang up and listen. Big fan of the show. Thanks.
Very good. See, they're losing it. They're losing it in Boston. Yes. All right. Again,
So
if you guys,
if Mike Zimmer was on this program, he'd fit right in there. We just bash each other, right, and say, "Well, how did you? Well, how did you? How did you?" Right? It's funny, man.
That had absolutely nothing to do with the bit that we just ran.
I know, but I can't get over that, dude. I just can't get over. I can't.
We literally just ran a bit.
Mose, you can get over the dude. You can't get over the chick. That's your problem.
I mean, it's just like they don't go together.
The speed bump is not Mike Zimmer in this conversation. That's
like
not what's holding you up here.
Carrots and Pop-Tarts, man, they just don't go together.
Check out the podcast, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Moser, Lombardi, and Kane. Thank you for tuning in. Love you. Goodbye. Ciao.